Now, yeah, stream starting. Let's go check out that cat, guys. Here's that cat that we all know and love so very much. There he is. Oh, so adorable. It was a good cat.
Hello from the GAMESCAST Live.
Hello from the GAMESCAST Live.
What is up, Robert Sullivan? Hey,
Hey,
GameCats, 10 minutes. Brian and AJ, Dave will rock it today. Damn right, we've got some killer shit to talk about today.
Right.
Kev Grant, it's time. That's my best.
Thursday.
Saturday. State War 420. Game on. Kev Grant, Chairface. What it do, homie?
What it do, Chairface?
Wink Rogers. I love that name, Chairface. That sounds like a Trover character. Or like a Justin Roiland thing. Wink
Yeah.
Rogers, the Game Cat. Hello. Gyson, fist bump to you. SB, what up? Feline Fraternity. Sinner 669, the unholy Game Cat. What's going on? Dressy is gold. Hey.
The letter A.
The letter A.
Today's GameCast brought to you by
The letter A. What does A spell?
Delirium Drew, Hack the Game Cat, Nissan the Game Cat Lover, Mikey Sensei, Game Cat Extraordinaire. Toss me a ninja slice, Mikey.
a Ninja
Statue
Slice.
of Liberty.
Nice.
I can literally quote the entire second Ninja Turtles movie from start to
That's
finish.
not the one you want to be able to quote.
Yeah.
I know the first
third
one's
one
the
is
best one.
the third one is the one you should get. To quote.
No,
We're
the first
in
one's the
feudal
third one's the
Japan.
worst.
I know,
Third
it's
one is
terrible.
terrible.
It as a kid, I was like, "Oh man, Japan is awesome. This is so cool."
Johnny
And I
Rap on
didn't
the
care
Stray
that it was
Cat.
terrible.
JB, Chief the VR Gamer.
This is PSVR Gamescast Live, where we film live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all in the chat for joining us. Whoa, you guys like playing air guitar over there. I think Dave's playing air drums. We got all sorts of air instruments.
We got an air band going.
We are air talented as hell. My name is Brian Paul from the channel right here with that Parole, and to my, you guys know I can't get this right. With me today is AJ from PSVR Underground and this channel here, and to his left is Dave from Dave Station VR. Gentlemen, what's going on today?
Not too much. It's a beautiful evening for a Gamescast, isn't it?
It is. It's wonderful. I'm totally single again. Woo! Yeah.
I
Hey.
think you claim this far too often for it to be useful.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I
you know.
don't. You're like the boy who cried single.
I mean, I'm technically,
fucking bullshit.
I'm technically married to my PlayStation.
Whatever.
so.
It's gonna be like a week.
The only
and then you're
one
gonna-
that treats me
I'm
right.
gonna be like, she wrote me right back in. Dude, I watched Not for Resale last night. The new, or actually,
I really need to see that. It's good, right?
so I actually watched it last night for the second time. I watched it like 2 or 3 days ago, the day it came out. In May, yeah. So it's good enough for me to have watched it twice, but also I bought it, so I was like, well, I might as well.
Sweet.
$10 on Amazon.
Yeah.
It is for anyone interested. It is a retro game documentary by Pat Cotree, the NES punk, and I mean he's in it, but regardless of whether or not you like him, it's a good movie. Greg Miller's in it, Andrea Renee, a little bit of Angry Video Game Nerd. There's a bunch of different people you'll recognize if you watch YouTubers, or if you're just like a retro game fan. There's gonna be a ton of stuff that's gonna like be pulling at those retro heartstrings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, there was a dude selling his entire Sega Saturn collection, and seeing it how like pristine and new in the box it looked. I was like, watching him part with his stuff for, I don't know, because he was getting married and like moving on with his life and doing this stuff. I was like, I don't want to move on with my life, and here I am like about to sell everything, and this guy's basically convincing me, don't do it, Brian, don't do it. Keep your stuff. You don't have a wife or kids. You've got a channel. I was selling everything for the channel. There's got to be another way. It's a great
I love
movie.
how there's this new theme of everybody like narrating their own life. First, it was you, Brian, in the Discord yesterday, and now it's Mr. Caprione, the name. That's the Game Cat. Meow. He says, I drunkenly stagger into this tavern, and to my surprise, I find my fellow Game Cats. Cheers.
Oh wow, I feel like
I
I'm
love
like
this.
an AOL chat room when I was like 13.
I was thinking more like a Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, no. So there were a lot of AOL chat rooms that were like kids who didn't know how to play Dungeons and Dragons role playing, and so we'd all have these characters. Like mine was named Raven Yamchora, which is a fucking terrible name. And it would be like, you know, you do your little role playing thing where you say like, looks downward and enters the tavern sullenly. I look up at the rafters. There's a man sitting on the, and you and it's just, and then you end up like cybering eventually. So
Cybering, like having cyber sex.
Cybering, yeah.
Okay, I was like, as long as you get there eventually, that's all I care about.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You roleplay your way to. I don't know. Let's continue.
I just miss the sounds of doors opening and closing on my AOL Instant Messenger.
I miss nothing about AOL Instant Messenger.
Come on.
Oh no, but those away messages and people's profiles, like with all the song lyrics in different colors, with all the tildes and asterisks floating around.
That's right.
It was so nice.
Yeah.
And you were waiting for that special sound of that one person who you changed their ding sound when they came online. It wasn't always a door. You could adjust it.
That's right.
And if you just had that one special person, you're like, oh, the sound, they're online. Let's chat.
Right. You could be 4 o'clock in the morning. You could be like sound asleep. You hear it and you're like, I'm getting up. Maybe they want to talk. Yeah. All right, guys. I don't think we should dilly-dally too much. I know that there's a lot to talk about.
It's only been 7 damn minutes, so we got 1
7
minute.
goddamn minutes. Well, in that case, join the Discord server, because this is the kind of nonsense you should expect 24/7 around there. Right?
Discord has been so awesome lately, man. I love you guys so much.
It's been really fun.
Everybody in there. Oh, man. It's amazing. I stayed up till like 4 in the morning last night because of you guys. So much fun. I don't even remember what we talked about.
I went to bed.
100 different things.
I went to bed and then 4 a.m. Bam! I was back. I was like, "What's going on? Why am I back here?" I was just stopping in to check something on the channel, and then there I was on Discord again. Yeah, spent far too much time over there. Yeah.
All right, Brian.
8 goddamn minutes? No, still not. Still 7 goddamn minutes. That's okay. Let's get to.
You got anything else? Anything else?
I don't know. Support some Patreon.
We got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
Do support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
Yes, for $1 or more, you can watch Brian and Jeremy talk about anything they want. They just fly by the seat of their pants, don't they?
Fly by the seat of their pants. Joyce the Guru says Yahoo Messenger was kicking. That's true, but ICQ was the shit.
That's what VR Grid said.
Oh, yeah, I missed that. Oh, damn it.
I
hate
IQC, but...
whatever. I hate agreeing with him. Did you see him playing? He was playing Rush. He was playing Rush on stream with a DualShock 4. Like, what are you doing?
Wait,
yeah, we were watching Ryan from the VR Grid. No, he was playing with moves. He was switching it up. He's a professional. He was being thorough, and he was playing with the moves. He was playing with the DualShock.
I just want to say you guys need to stop that bullshit, because it's so fun playing with the look aiming.
I know, but you still have to use the moves to have the hands. You got to have hands. We will get there.
Wait,
that is one of the things on the list today. Guys, we have 15 items on the list, including some brand new release dates, some prices that we got as well, some new games to talk about, some amazing updates to go through. But first, we are going to talk about PAX East, Brian. I know you and Mikey Sensei, Game Cat Extraordinaire, are going to be there. And there are 5 games, VR games that are confirmed to be present that you will hopefully get to preview for us. And that's going to be Gorn, Iron Man VR.
Oh, yes.
Pixel Rip 1995. The Room VR, A Dark Matter. Say it, Dave.
Say what?
I don't know. Space Channel and Space Channel 5, Kind of Funky Newsflash. Brian.
Hey.
I really look forward to hearing your impressions on these. Hopefully, Mike can get the camera on you. Which one of these games are you most excited to try first?
This is a tough one.
Say anything other than Iron Man, I don't know what's wrong with you.
I mean, it is a tough one. Honestly, like Iron Man, I feel like I've wanted Iron Man to go away for so long. Like I was like, okay, I've seen enough. Now go away until you're ready to release. Like I don't want more delays. I don't want to know anything else. Stop showing trailers. And so like the last thing left for me to do to really ruin the launch experience is to now play it. So I guess I'll do that. But I feel like I haven't seen nearly enough of The Room. Like The Room is the one that I am excited to. It's not going to make for a good PAX East demo because it's going to be one puzzle. I'm going to stand there and go, I don't know how to solve this. I got 20 people standing around waiting to play the game, and right. This is worse than streaming it. People are actually waiting their turn to play the game. It's gonna be terrible. But that's the one I can't wait to see what it looks like in the headset. And I can't wait to see if the locomotion feels as good as I want it to, and all that stuff. But yeah, obviously Iron Man, it's the clear winner there. There's no question.
Cool. I think it's obvious you're gonna end up playing the same thing that we've seen, but as always, you're gonna be get to experience it. And that's what I want to hear. I want to hear how was the controls, how was all that, and hopefully you tell them, make sure you tell them turn off all those blinders, turn off all this, that, the comfort settings. We don't need that stinking shit in our games. But yeah, looking forward to that, and that will be taking place Thursday, February 27th through Sunday, March 1st.
Can't wait.
So
I'm very excited.
The interesting thing about that too is you said Space Channel 5 is going to be out there.
We will already have.
It'll be released. We'll have played it already.
Oh wow, that's an excellent point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, the 25th is when it comes out. So,
so we will obviously know before then. But
regardless, even if you've played it and beaten it, you need to stop at the booth because I want to see what that Space Channel 5 booth looks like.
Absolutely.
It's probably going to be awesome.
Listen,
if Ulala's chilling there.
Oh yeah, they'll have somebody.
Yeah, I wonder if Ulala has any cute siblings. Listen, the first what I want to talk about real quick before we move on from Pax East is first, if anyone is in the Boston or Massachusetts area or is going to be traveling there for PAX, make sure you follow me on Twitter at ThatWouldBeDark, and we will meet up. I'm literally I have a 4-day pass. I don't think I'm going to be there all day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I'll tell you, 2 years ago I went with Michelle and Jeremy and Des, and like after one day we were beat. I was like, we were there for like 6 hours, and I was like, I have had enough PAX for the year. So I don't see myself being there every single day, especially for long stretches of time. But if you're going to be there, let me know, and like we can meet up. And Mikey's going to be there Friday and Saturday, so I'm going to be there all day Friday and Saturday. Again, follow me, Dave. What's going on with Tree High?
And that's going to be
$2. AJ, you can do it. You started first.
That's going to be from Texotron, the indoor cat. Don't let him outside. With the $2 donation, says you can play Rush with head movement and the moves together. I know that's what I was trying to get at, because if you use the DualShock 4, then you don't get to pick up all the cool Nerf guns and soda cans and all that stuff and throw it at each other and shoot Ryan from the VR grid in the crotch with Nerf guns and stuff.
He won't feel a thing.
I just I like the head movement. It's my favorite. It's much better than the other ones.
No, but in terms of for racing and stuff, yeah, head control is the most advantageous, I should say.
I feel like we're going to talk a lot about Rush.
We're going to talk a lot. Yeah,
we are going to get into Rush.
Put that in the end.
But thank you, Texo, so much. Love you, dude. You're awesome as always. Always appreciate your support. Today, Brian.
Today. Gonna be the
DICE Awards are going down.
Yeah,
they're going to be hosted. This is the 23rd annual DICE Awards, and they're going to be hosted by Greg Miller, our good friend, and Jessica Chobot.
Our good friend.
When does that start?
Okay, you're right. My good friend.
It's like,
he likes me more.
Wow, you are a kind of funny best friend, aren't you?
I love what Greg Miller does over there at Kind of Funny, and just his strong PlayStation voice that he's been kind of the leader, the vocal leader of the internet for PlayStation for so long. Tons of mad respect for that dude.
Yeah.
Also, really nice guy. Got to meet him, and he sat down and he talked to me for so long. I was like running out of things to say, and I was like, man, he was ready to just kick back and chill. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm mentioning this is there are some PSVR games nominated tonight. It's going to be 8 o'clock, I think it is, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, or yeah.
So real quick, how do we watch this thing? Because I'm looking right now to find like a stream or a link or something, and I can't find it yet.
I don't actually know where to watch it. I just but I'm sure it's going to be everywhere. I'm sure you can just YouTube it. There's this thing called YouTube. I'm sure there's plenty of places to watch it. I was trying to find where, but yeah. I don't know. There's,
at this point, they've been doing the DICE Awards for so long. They must have a YouTube channel where they're streaming it. Is that not a thing?
I hope so. We'll see.
Okay.
But so the nominations are, and good luck to all of our PSVR nominees out there. That's who we want to win. There is an immersive reality achievement, immersive reality technical achievement award, and immersive reality game of the year. Blood and Truth is nominated for both of those. So good luck to you guys over at Sony London Studio. Hope you win. Trover Saves the Universe is also nominated for immersive reality game of the year, as well as The Curious Tale of Stolen Pets.
I hope Trover kicks the ass of The Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets or Blood and Truth.
Well, I'm not gonna lie,
guys. Asgard's Wrath is gonna win probably.
So that's the thing, is they're going up against Asgard's Wrath and Pistol Whip as well.
Is it just like a VR category? Is that a thing?
Yes.
General immersive reality. Technical achievement, immersive reality game of the year.
Interesting.
They're not even saying virtual reality; they're saying immersive.
I know. I don't get that. Like,
let me pose a question.
I guess I get it. But...
Remember, like, I don't know, a long time ago when downloadable games had their own categories in every award. It was like you would never put a $10 downloadable game up against something that came out in retail, because downloadable games were like known as smaller, kind of bite-sized games. They certainly weren't like the stuff you get down. And then eventually, as downloadable games in that space grew larger, that category just went away, and all games competed against each other. Do you think at a certain point the VR games won't have its own category? It'll just be, you'll just find VR games in every category?
That'd be nice.
I don't think that'll happen anytime soon.
No, not anytime soon.
That's like 15 years from now.
I don't mind it being kind of like, I don't want to see Blood and Truth go up against like Death Stranding or Spider-Man.
Control,
you know what I mean?
No,
like,
it doesn't make any sense now.
It's almost a different platform. Yeah, it would make sense years down the line when VR games get onto the level of actually being able to compete against some of these massive AAA, games that sold millions and millions and millions of copies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What'd you say? 5 years?
I'm saying 5 years.
5 years.
Dave's like
still,
5.
So
yeah.
Well, it's going to be its own category still. Like, it's going to be. So let's talk about an analog to this here, like Parasite, for instance, winning at the Academy Awards.
Right.
Usually, a movie that wins Best Foreign Film doesn't win Best Picture. And so in 5 years, I think we'll have a category at every game show like foreign film, but for VR. And it'll be a while before one of those games branches over and actually makes it into the best game of the year category. So I think we're still a ways out. But, we got a thing.
Let go of me! Unhand me!
I got this one.
Okay.
I said I got this one, but then I didn't actually have it up. Give me 1 second. Here it is. It is Robbie B, the English Game Cat. Very proper with £5 donation. Can we get a shout out for the imminent Dreams release in less than an hour? He's saying that we
not for us, yeah,
and that we
for them though.
Yeah, is it really releasing at midnight, or is that just their?
Yeah, because it's up for pre-order.
I think it's at midnight. Yeah.
All right. In that we all pray for VR integration ASAP. Absolutely, man. I think we're going to talk quite a bit about dreams today, our hopes, our dreams for dreams. It's going to be a fun little conversation. Robbie B, thank you so much for the love and the donation. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. We're not gonna go too deep into it because obviously we're hearing some good things and we want to talk about that just a little bit, as well as the state of the VR integration. Just incredible VR. My dude said Asgard Wrath is gonna sweep. Hard to get, says Trevor was cool, but all in for Blood and Truth. VR Grid says Asgard's Wrath deserves to win, and that Trover doesn't get enough love.
Trevor doesn't get enough love. I agree, but it's also a flat screen game. And if anyone ever, did you guys play it? Did you even try it flat screen?
No,
I wouldn't.
Never bothered.
No, it's obviously missing something. It definitely seems like it was designed.
It's missing VR.
Yeah. Everything makes sense in VR, but you play it on flat screen, you're like, this is just too cumbersome.
So that's not the only thing that's actually nominated. Golem is nominated for Outstanding Achievement in Original Music Composition. Shout out to Marty O'Donnell,
really?
Original art director. Audio director for like the Halo series and some other games that he did. This Halo is just huge. Which actually I saw on Twitter that his voice is the one. If you remember that is actually Marty O'Donnell's voice, like looped like 8 times or whatever.
What was?
I don't know. I started doing Skyrim, so I'm getting confused now.
Okay, so there was a voice in the soundtrack that you're referring to.
Oh,
this guy started doing TV and radio jingles, such as the Flintstones Vitamins jingle.
Wow, I remember that commercial.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Can you sing it? Is the question. How good was that jingle? If you could still remember it.
I've never taken a vitamin in my life.
Wow.
I've been taking vitamins. You should take.
I know
vitamins.
most people do.
Listen, I know jingles from commercials on TV for products I've never even purchased. So We'll probably circle back to that at some point.
I am totally rooting for Marty O'Donnell in this case. He is going up against. I don't know any of these other.
Who are they?
The soundtracks and stuff, but it was. Let's see. Wait, has he got one or two? Okay, no. He's going up against Arise, A Simple Story.
Never heard of.
Control. How was the music in Control, Dave?
I barely notice it, but it's got a big oomph. Like it fits the game very well. But I can't think of any memorable themes that I remember from it.
Gotcha. Erica, but from Sony Interactive Entertainment.
It looks like a movie in the picture.
It does look like a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the commercial for the advertisement it was definitely an FMV game.
Okay. And then Mortal Kombat 11. So,
which I wouldn't see Mortal Kombat 11 original music composition. That's a weird thing.
Not since the 90s, since it had that amazing song.
I don't know. Fucking generic techno garbage is what it was.
I forget the name of that group. Somebody will remind me with the name. I'm sure JB knows the name of that the group that used to do the techno music for them. But I like their chances here. I like their chances. Golem has a fantastic soundtrack and is overall a really, really good game. So rooting for all these guys tonight. Like we said, that'll be going down in an hour and a half. So if you're not doing anything, make sure you tune into that and check it out.
Yeah, I got to see that.
Mako XL says, watching your GAMESCAST from an airplane. What? That is crazy.
He paid for that Wi-Fi, baby.
Yes. That's awesome, Mako. Fly safe. See you soon. Hit me up this weekend so we can play some stuff. Okay. So moving on. Sony recently released a commercial and that we're just going to briefly touch on. And it was a heartfelt commercial.
I've so done with puns today. All right, so
that catch and release stream, yeah. It was like on and on.
It was treacherous,
and it still goes. I thought you were done.
I'll excuse myself now. Good night, everybody. It's horrible.
Can I quit in the middle of the GAMESCAST? Am I allowed to quit?
Yeah, I mean, you're allowed to do whatever you want. I'm not paying you, so you're not in breach of contract. Nothing. Would anybody care to take Dave's place? Anybody from the chat? Scott,
by the way,
Scott says,
Techno
Brian, you're
Gatsby,
adorable. Scott, get in here and take Dave's place.
Techno Gatsby says, Techno is garbage. What am I doing with my life? You have hurt Marcus, our good friend in the chat. I apologize.
I knew somebody was going to get upset about that, but I didn't realize that I forgot we had a game cat with Techno in his name. I do apologize. You know what? So I used to be a raver kid. Okay. But the problem is once I stopped doing a lot of drugs a lot of the time, I realized that techno wasn't as good as I thought it was. But for like 5 years, man, I went to rave after rave after rave after rave. And so, I got no leg to stand on.
No, underground black metal shows all day. Also, Secret Sub says, watching your GAMESCAST while working is not a good idea. I've just accidentally super glued my wrist to the cutting mat.
We need a
picture. Wrist
we need a picture.
That.
Send it to withoutparole@gmail.com. I want to get it on the show.
Oh my God, this is not fair. You can't squeeze me anymore.
That's for Flick Off with New Zealand 10 Buckaroos. And he says, shout out to the Honor and Duty crowd. Great game, great community. Just need more people. That's true. Get in there.
100%.
It is very true. I have a feeling, they're aiming for the texture update by the end of this month. And they're also going to be releasing a physical copy once that comes out. So I have a feeling Honor and Duty may get some pretty strong second pair of legs going here pretty soon. It's a fun game.
A whole second pair of legs.
A whole second pair of legs. Just
wow.
Just quadruped.
That's fucking freaky, man.
Do you think Honor and Duty would be a successful free PlayStation Plus game, or would people go, "What the fuck are you giving us?" because they would judge it before they played it?
I think it needs this texture update. I think as much as I love the game, like the gameplay is not a problem. The gameplay, and if you think about it, Honor and Duty is a technical achievement with what it has done. It was the first 5v5 multiplayer game. It was the first 32 person multiplayer game. I think people aren't turned off by the gameplay at all. It's got vehicles, it's got tons of weapons, arcade combat, lots of good stuff. I think it's just the graphics, man. I think people like that when you're in VR, you like to have it as realistic looking as possible. And I think this texture bump is going to actually be pretty significant.
Nice. So that's a no, not until the Pro patch. Do you think the Pro patch would push it into a league where people would be happy to get it as a free PSVR game?
I think people would be happy to get it as a free PSVR game, regardless, even the way it is right now.
Yeah, I always get nervous. People judge before they play.
They should give them some space between Firewall and having Honor and Duty as
That's
free.
true too.
Because if the month right after you got Firewall for free, you get Honor and Duty, it's still a fun game, but you're going to get in and you're going to be like, oh, wait a second. They just gave me like the most polished game last month in the world. And now I'm, playing this. It looks kind of janky, but it's a great game. I just feel like people would talk shit.
It is one of those where you get into it too. I mean, everybody talks shit about every VR game until they get inside it and they're like, whoa, this looks amazing. And it's like, duh. But back to the thing. Thank you so much, Flick Off. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Kiwi. Love our Kiwis out there in New Zealand land.
Love Ivy the Kiwi.
But yeah, this commercial, I want to hear, what did everybody...
So I didn't see this commercial. I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm going to try
you
and
didn't
watch
see
it.
it yet?
I'm going to try and watch it right now.
So,
what commercial is it?
Feel the Power.
Brian and I will
commercial
get into
on
it.
the PlayStation YouTube channel.
Okay.
I think it's called Feel the Power, right?
Feel the Power, yeah.
Feel it. Feel the vibrations. So
All right, I got it. Feel the power of PlayStation.
Yeah. I mean, it is...
All right, I'm watching it now.
It is, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know
It basically, let me start with this.
By all means.
It
What's up
basically
with
starts
this
out...
dog?
Thank you.
What's up with the fucking dog?
It basically starts out kind of like a Resident Evil, where they're like going down into the hive and stuff, and they're this like squad of things, and they go down into the underground place, and then they open up this door, and then you end up seeing these like beating hearts, and all these hearts are connected to PlayStations and stuff. And
this is like Alien, dude. This is like Alien.
Yes, and I love this commercial. I know I may be more enthusiastic about this than some, but I absolutely thought this commercial was amazing. I love stuff like this.
What I don't get is what this has to do with a PlayStation in any form or fashion.
It's a Valentine's Day. It's a Valentine's Day.
PlayStation is powered with love, David.
Alien.
Yes, just for some context.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of Terminator Salvation.
Dave, while you finish watching, do you mind hitting Tree Guy for me?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was it. Okay, that's for Techno Gatsby the Game Cat with a $5 donation. Sorry, again. Said, hope you three find love this weekend, Brian. May your Valentine's coffee match your soul. Dark, hashtag Team Creamer. We did have a huge discussion on Discord about a ton of us are huge coffee drinkers. We had a huge discussion on Discord whether drinking your coffee black was acceptable. And I said, anything else is unacceptable. And that spawned a whole conversation I didn't expect to happen. Yeah,
that's a weird ass commercial.
Yeah, it's
kind of like it.
This is funny, right? Because we see the VR grid in the chat say it's a terrible commercial. SB goes, it's back to 90s PlayStation ads, which I disagree with. It's actually back to the PlayStation 3 commercials, right?
Yes,
which is like just so fucking bonkers and off the wall. But yes, I do agree. We're totally blessed. It's just a mess. It's not selling any PlayStations, that's for sure.
This isn't about selling. I know. Okay, go ahead. What's your favorite comment?
So I'm on the YouTube video, and there's a lot of comments, but my favorite one.
I hope you say the one. I hope
it's a Sony rep hits blunt. So I was speaking to Kojima about making a PlayStation.
That's pretty good. My favorite was my favorite comment was somebody was like waiting for a girl to turn around and be like, "You're all going to die down here." But no, I love this commercial. I got into a little bit of a tough with somebody in the Discord who I won't name by name, but you know who you are. I love you. But they called me a fanboy.
You are a fanboy
for liking this commercial and said that I'm biased and that's the only reason I like this commercial. And I took a little bit of offense to that because last time I recall, gentlemen and game cats in the chat, I'm pretty sure when they've already announced that they're not announcing anything just yet. They're not ready to talk about PlayStation 5 yet. So I wasn't expecting. I'm not sitting here waiting for a PlayStation 5 commercial, something like that. Like I wasn't expecting that. But you know, they did do a VR commercial not too long ago, and it like showed like a dude in a trunk, and then like, you know, there was like a Skyrim thing, and then it was like an Everybody's Golf bundle commercial, and it was just, that to me was a mess, and I tore that commercial apart. Yes, I am a Sony fanboy because I have 25 years of not being let down, and I have 25 years of reasons to be a Sony fanboy, and I just love the platform, and I love shit like this. So I completely just wanted to say that I stand by this commercial, that this is the kind of shit that I'm here and that I'm a PlayStation gamer for, is because it's so weird. It's so different. If I wanted a normal commercial, like I'd go somewhere else. But I love PlayStation and Sony for doing stuff like this. It's a little bit of a ballsy move to have like a horror themed Valentine's commercial, but that is why I love them.
They
and
knew,
that is
they
why
knew
I'm
I
a
was
fanboy.
watching. They're like, we're making something specifically for Brian.
I don't know what's Valentine's-y about it other than there's hearts in it. Like, it's really doesn't
It's
really give
very
me
scary.
that. Yeah, it doesn't give me that. I don't watch Alien on Valentine's Day.
No, I'm not saying this should be every commercial moving forward, but this one, I like the timing and I like the style of it, and I really like this commercial a lot.
Yeah,
Dude, Aliens on Valentine's Day, Die Hard on Christmas.
Yes,
There you
right? And
Die Hard, yeah.
Event Horizon
Nightmare
on
Before
Labor
Christmas.
Day. We
Nightmare-
got this shit, man. Like there's a regimen of movies to watch on specific days, and I guess this is our new Sony PlayStation commercial.
I'm gonna submit.
Just Incredible.
That. Oh, go ahead.
Just Incredible says he doesn't want people assuming he's a fanboy. He wants them to. Damn right.
Yeah.
Damn right.
It's a great
25 years, baby.
It's a great commercial. It is. If they released it on Valentine's Day, it would have had a little more impact. And I just think it was. It's weird for them to spend a whole lot of money on making a commercial that like doesn't do anything. You know, so good.
Yeah,
good
they
for
show
them.
no games in it. There's nothing. I mean, you can
was
barely
fun.
tell it's a PlayStation commercial until
And-
the end.
And let it be known, Sony has some of the greatest commercials ever. The Greatness Awaits one, the one that started it all, where the dude like is like talking, says that really inspirational speech, and then like jumps out and like tackles a bunch of like PlayStation characters and stuff, and then you've got like the dragon from Skyrim like flying around, and just complete chaos. I love their commercials, man, and this is a good one. This is, in my opinion, I know they're hit or miss sometimes. I like this one. Is all I'm saying.
It's much better than a lot of the Super Bowl commercials that I saw. Because did you see the Super Bowl at all? AJ, I feel like you did. Brian, I feel like you didn't.
I don't know.
I can't believe you just asked.
I was
me
a little
that.
busy.
I figured you hadn't, right? Neither of you guys.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so some companies are starting to do this thing where they just openly let you know that they own every company in the fucking world. And so they had advertisements that were like 5 different ads put together. And it was like a Tide ad and a Doritos ad and a this ad and a that ad. And you couldn't tell what the fuck you were looking at until the end. They were like, hey, we're Procter & Gamble. We own everything in the world. So we made a commercial for all the stuff we own. And it was just very dystopian and strange. So I like this a lot better. This would have been a cool Super Bowl commercial.
Yes, it would have been. And, Justin has a good too. He says it's a viral marketing. Sell stuff, sometimes it just gets the word out, and I agree. This isn't telling you to buy a PlayStation. This was just something fun and cool. But I think we should move on. I just wanted to get that out there, and no hard feelings.
Let's go.
I'm definitely a Sony fanboy, but I also really like this commercial, and I'm also not afraid to tear them a new one when I disagree with what they're doing. But it's all out of love. It's all out of love. I just want what's best for me and all of us. Space Channel 5. We expected this game to have a release date like in the spring. We originally thought it was coming in the spring. They have reverse delay. Everyone says this is the year of delays. Well, the reverse thing just happened, and now we are getting it February 25th. Not very long, and it's going to be $39.99.
And I can already hear the shouts of, it's just Space Channel 5. Why is it $40? Because like Tetris Effect came out and everybody flipped their shit. Which I still to this day have a bone to pick about, because Tetris Effect is a $40 game. It's a good ass game. And anyone else who hasn't thought that hasn't played it probably. But anyways, I hope this is as much a $40 game as Tetris is. That's my main thing. I hope it's actually worth it.
So it comes with these are the different modes. Story mode says join Channel 5 as a rookie reporter alongside Ulala. Arcade, play as an introductory mode, recommended for VR beginners. Trial dance, play 100 dances in a row in this exercise and endurance mode.
Survival mode.
Let's take something
Right?
you
That's what it
love
sounds
and
like.
ruin it.
Viewing, watch the story again through a third-person perspective and multiple camera angles. Meh.
And then finally, the creepiest mode of all. What do we got?
Dressing room. It wouldn't be a first-party Sony game if it didn't have a dressing room.
For sure.
Hold on. There's two more things though. There's a Friendopedia where it says view character biographies, and then calories. Track the calories burnt during gameplay. So this is being marketed as a fitness arcade rhythm game.
However,
I feel like just saying, if you're using a lot of the dressing room, if you're spending a lot of time in that feature, you might be on everyone's Friendopedia, but no one's boyfriendopedia. That's all I'm saying.
So Joystick Guru says the hell it is a $40. No, Tetris should have been. It should have never been more than $20. So he disagrees with you there.
Joystick, you're insane. I talk to you all the time.
I bought Tetris Effect. It did also have a day one discount. It was $35. So I actually got it for $35 with the launch discount. I do think $40 is a little steep for Tetris Effect. Just a little bit.
No.
I wouldn't be angry about it. I wasn't angry about it, but I do think it was a little much. And Chaos for Hire says, I will only pay $40 for a game if I can buy it physical. That does make more sense.
And actually, it's cheaper physical. It was like $20 physical for a while.
Yeah, there was a pretty good sale going on at I think on Amazon and Best
GameStop.
Buy.
Yeah.
It's such a tough call. Like Tetris is one of those games that you've played a million times, and you go, why am I paying $40 for Tetris? And so I can see both sides of the argument. To be honest with you, I played a lot of Tetris Effect.
Well, I've played a lot of Skyrim. Why would I pay for that? Similar fucking argument.
It's a similar fucking argument, except that the core game in Skyrim isn't simple falling.
It's like 300 hours.
I like Tetris Effect better than I like Skyrim VR.
Understandable,
but
I like a lot of things better that I paid way less for. Price shouldn't come down to what I like better. Price should come down to what the game is worth.
The amount of content and stuff like that.
Tetris literally has endless content.
Okay.
It's random.
I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, there's an argument that could be made.
So it sounds like they didn't charge enough for it, Dave. It sounds like maybe it should have been $60 or $70 or $80 because you can play it forever.
I didn't say.
I'm just saying. It's like where do you draw the line? I'm just questioning your logic. I'm like, where does the logic stop? Where does the line in the sand get drawn?
I never said it should be $70.
But I'm asking you that. Where is $40 the right price, or would you have been happy at $50 too? I'm just asking. I'm not judging because, like I said, I can see both sides of the argument.
Let's move on. I love the game. I would have paid $50 for it.
Okay.
And a lot of people are going to say I'm crazy, but yeah.
No, I mean, you like what you like.
So one of the things that I was excited about, and
everybody likes Tetris. Everybody likes Mizuguchi. This shit is real good. Anyways,
how much was Res Infinite when it came out?
Probably like
40.
30. Was it 40?
Yeah,
it was 30.
I'm not too sure. I know it was kind of expensive.
I think it was 40. Yeah.
Anyway, so AJ, you had done a little investigation work on Space Channel 5 and found out that one of the trailers we saw was inaccurate.
That is correct. So I reached out to Team Grounding because I noticed that there was something missing from this trailer that wasn't in the last thing, and it also wasn't shown in the features in the game where they have it on the website, PlayStation.com. And so they have actually confirmed that it will not have co-op at launch. And they did say, they said that they can't comment on the future of it. So they don't actually, we basically don't know if we're getting co-op or not anymore with this game. We know that they had been demoing it with co-op and showing it off. But at launch, it will not have co-op, and we're not sure. However, they did confirm that it will have a demo. So some good news and some bad news there. And yeah. What do you, I'm not too bent up about the co-op, although I wanted co-op in it. I'm not really that bent up about it, but I do think it's really cool that they are providing a free demo that you can try it out first. I love demos.
That's always good. I wish they'd give us a new demo disc with some stuff that isn't out yet.
That'd be nice.
That would be awesome. But what I want to say about this one too is I was looking at the website for Space Channel 5 VR, and there is a section that mentions DLC, and it says keep an eye out. We'll have more to announce later, which I haven't heard mentioned much in the marketing or people talking about this game.
Not at
But
all.
the idea that there is going to be DLC is cool. I don't know what it would be, but maybe more stages, maybe new modes, maybe multiplayer. But they're already working on it because there's a section on the website that says DLC.
I hope it's free DLC. I got to tell you, man, as much as I'm bummed about the co-op not being there, I was surprised by the amount of modes, the story mode, the arcade mode, and then there's this trial dance is what really has me the most intrigued. This play 100 dances in a row. It sounds exhausting, but one of the things that I've loved about Beat Saber lately is that's kind of where I'm getting my fitness from. That's where I'm getting my workout, get my heart going. And I love the idea of using VR for exercise. I've always liked the physical games. I know people are kind of back and forth on that, like things like Sprint Vector, but I do expect this game to be very good looking, very polished. I love the music from the trailer, and I'm excited about this game, man. And like I said, there is a demo, but I will have the full game for sure, day one.
Yeah. Now, I mean, this is also going to be a short game. We want to prepare people. It's music games in general, especially ones like obviously you have music games like Audica and Beat Saber that there's no length to. You just play the song over and over and try to get better each difficulty, that whole thing. This is different, right? Because you kind of progress through the game. It's very, in Parappa in style. And I don't remember if there's different difficulty modes on the original. There must have been. I mean, Parappa had different difficulty modes. That's really the only way to kind of artificially extend the life of these things. And so I'm assuming that there's probably going to be, when you go through this, and there's going to be easy dance moves and harder dance moves, and you kind of, more things to do in shorter amounts of time. But keep in mind, this is going to be a short game. I can't imagine that they've.
What do you think? You think it's going to be like the original? What was the original? Like an hour and a half, something?
Yeah, it's going to be a short game. I mean, it's like a rhythm game with a campaign,
right?
So it's it can't be super long.
Right.
It won't be super long. But I think the different modes and potentially difficulty levels, like you said, might make it worth replaying more than a regular.
And you probably have to
game.
replay sections over and over and over till you get it right, so you can continue. I don't remember this being an easy game, to be honest. So,
I was last thing I got to say on this too, unless you guys have more to say, was Nissan the Game Cat Lover says, screw that game. They need to make Jet Set Radio VR. That would be awesome. Hopefully you've played Sprint Vector. Because that's the closest thing to Jet Set that I've played.
If they use Sprint Vector controls and made a Jet Grind Radio game, I would fucking...
Yeah, but people complained about that too, though. People complained about they're like, I just got home from work. I'm tired. I don't want to do this physical stuff. But
that's one thing when you're racing. But if you're doing Jet Grind Radio, you're doing this for a little bit, and then you're hopping, and then you go paint stuff, and then you hop back, and I don't know. I think it could work.
I made a. Let me just remind people, because I made a tweet, not a tweet, a post on Reddit, and I was kind of semi joking, but also semi serious. And I said I'm going to buy 8 copies of this because I want that House of the Dead remake in VR eventually. Do you think?
Oh hell yeah!
Do you guys think, Brian or Dave or GameCats, that if this game sells well, that it would potentially pave the way for more Sega games,
100%.
Or you think this is a standalone thing?
No, this is Sega. This is Sega saying, "Listen, we want to test the waters, so we are licensing our game." Sega's name does not appear on any of these trailers, on the website, anything, anywhere to be found. This is all grounding, right? Grounding has taken all the responsibility on this. So the game has been licensed to Grounding. I'm assuming that's how it's working. And they're taking all the risk. And if it sells really well, then Sega's going to be watching, I'm sure, very closely to say, did it work out this very well this time? Should we license more of our games out for VR ports? Should we be getting into the VR market? This is a huge test for them, just like I think that Zone of the Enders 2 was a huge test for Konami, doing, porting. Again, a game that I'm sure they did not expect to sell well, and I'm sure it didn't sell well. Important to VR, just see what happens. See what happens. Get a small team on it and see what happens. I'm assuming it's the exact same thing over here, except that Sega's got zero risk involved in it whatsoever. So
The interesting thing to me is that they're coming out with those House of the Dead remasters, right?
Yeah.
How will you even play a game like that functionally and have fun unless it's got some kind of motion controller tracking? And if you've already got moves or light bar tracking in your game, then just go one more step and put it in VR. I think it's not.
Oh, you're talking about like House of the Dead?
Well, because they've already announced they're going to re-release those games.
With moves.
Right.
So this would be like the only PS4 game that was flat screen that used moves, which would be really unique. And I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be maybe that, but also VR. Like, it would just make so much sense. This is me speculating, like, totally out of my ass. But
if I know, because I run a YouTube channel, that I would probably be, I'll buy any game. I will buy any game that comes out and play it. But if I was not on the YouTube channel side, I would be probably one of those people that would literally just buy this game just to support it, just to see, because, you know, VR is in an uphill battle right now, and I want to see it be successful. And so I'd be willing to spend my hard-earned money for a really fun game, especially if it means something down the line. And usually I've found myself in the past supporting a lot of games this way, and a lot of the times they didn't make it, or weren't very successful. So just want to make people aware that, you know, I'm not saying if you're broke, spend all your money, give it to somebody else. But I am saying if you do have the money, you know, that may be something you want to be considering, is that, you know, you have the opportunity to support this game if it's something you want. And it could lead to more Sega games in the future. It could lead to a Jet Set Radio and stuff. So, but, you know, I want you to have your own opinion on that. But just know that you can make a difference during these times, is all I'm saying.
Everybody.
I also want to put it out here. I don't think Sega would do this, but Chairface says Ghost Squad VR, please.
Yeah.
And that is, I fucking love Ghost Squad. I hooked up my Wii recently, and I've been playing so much Ghost Squad. Any kind of game like that would be so good. Sega has such a back catalog of those that they could easily just... I mean, the PS4 can run that, I think, in VR.
Absolutely.
So.
Okay, each one of you, each one of us, maybe everyone in the chat, I don't know.
Yes.
Your one Sega game that you want in VR. Real quick. No, you don't need to make a huge spectacle out of this.
I mean, there's two. House of the Dead.
House of the Dead and what? You cut out.
I missed your second
House of the Dead or Crazy Taxi.
Okay. Yeah, as much as I love House of the Dead, as much as I want all of those games in VR, I mean, Crazy Taxi is just, it seems so intense to me that, like, in VR... that is what I want. I'm straight from my horror roots.
I know this is like dreams and wishes and stuff, not realistic talk, but there is so much licensing in Crazy Taxi that I think it would be a nightmare for them to bring it to a current generation.
Change storefronts,
you can change
over
it
and change music. It's
pizza shop.
Well, I feel like it would lose a little bit of the Crazy Taxi vibe if you weren't going to the Adidas store and the Pizza Hut and like the Taco Bell and stuff.
No more Bad Religion, no more Offspring. No more, it would,
exactly. Yeah, it would be a much different kind of thing, but it would still be fun.
I would still take it.
Great Tantrum says Daytona, USA. Techno Gatsby says Super Monkey Ball.
Monkey Ball, hell yeah. Oh, man.
That would be awesome.
Can you
Dragon
imagine?
Slayer says Yakuza. House of the Dead, Ghost Squad.
You know what? I've said before, Shenmue.
Robbie B says bass fishing.
Shenmue would be cool.
I'm not
awesome.
interested in
like
playing
first
that on a flat
person
screen, but yeah, give me move controllers in first person support, and I will play a Shenmue game for, I mean, as long as it lasts. I'm down.
All right.
So this is kind of a, well, you didn't ask me what mine was, but we can.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. So I would love to see. This is a weird one, but did you guys ever play Ikaruga?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not suited for VR in any way at all.
Nope.
But I would love to see that sort of, you know, third-person games have a cool diorama feel to them, and you still feel more engaged in it.
Yeah.
And like being able to look around a little bit and stuff. I don't know. I love shoot 'em ups, and that is such a good one that was on Dreamcast.
I don't think I knew that was Sega. I thought that was like Platinum or something.
It's probably not Sega. I bet you it's not, but it was on Dreamcast.
Yeah.
It was originally released on the Sega Naomi arcade system, but it's by Treasure.
Treasure.
Who made,
Right. Okay.
Treasure made all kinds of great stuff. So I guess that's not technically Sega. I should have thought of something else. Well, then Jet Grind Radio is the one that I want.
Perfect.
Before Jet Grind Radio, great pick.
Of course.
I would love that.
Sec.
Yep. And that's going to be from Retro Medic with the $10 donation. Says, thanks, Game Cats, for saving me money over the last few months. I love your passion for VR.
We love your passion for VR.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
And we are happy to save you money. Hopefully, we've led you the right way. You know, we even if there's a bad game that we like, we won't let you know that it is a bad game, but you might like it. And then, we want to make sure first and foremost that you pick up all the best PSVR titles, because even though there's not games releasing every single day right now, although it's starting to pick up again, there are a lot of good games that a lot of people have probably missed, and we want to make sure we go back there. Oh, Beer to Power, says Earthworm Jim. Don't tug on my heartstrings like that, dude. Groove.
That was
all right. Moving on.
Dragon Slayer's tugging on my heartstrings. He said, "I think Tenchu VR would work."
Oh
my
Tenchu.
God, I would fucking flip my shit.
So good. All right. Let's get out of this nostalgia.
You put Espire 1. And
we're gonna go down the. Actually, speaking of which,
together.
this is a perfect segue for Down the Rabbit Hole.
There you
which was today announced. It finally has a release date and a price, Brian and Dave.
Oh, wow. What is all that?
So we first saw this game a couple months back. I think it was during the Upload VR showcase for E3. And the price is going to be $19.99, which seems pretty good. And
very good.
This is, of course, is set in the Alice in Wonderland universe, and it's going to be a 360-degree diorama, almost like a point-and-click adventure. You'll be choosing. I think you start out with Alice, obviously, and then you'll be pointing and clicking, different adventure kind of deal where there's puzzles, secrets, stuff like that, and a lot of exploration of these things. Brian, you were just talking about point and click adventures. What do you think of this one? A 360 diorama version.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. I think the last point and click adventure I really played, the actual point and click adventure controls, was Wayward Sky, right? I can't think of too many others that really had a point your character around the screen and tell them where to go kind of thing, especially with an adventure element attached to it with puzzle solving stuff. But I think that what spawned that conversation in the Discord was Loading Human. How it was Loading Human has kind of a bad reputation, but if you look at it as sort of a point and click adventure in first person where you got control of your main character, it sort of makes a little bit more sense. This is a little more traditional, and man, I love the art style. This looks so good.
I do love the art style, and it's got all the iconic characters. I saw the Cheshire Cat in there. And I was a big fan of the American McGee's Alice, then the Alice Madness Returns. I was a big fan of those games. Even though they weren't really perfect or anything, it's such a cool world. And I think it could be really awesome being just immersed in that world. That's kind of iconic. You know what I mean? That world, everybody knows what Alice in Wonderland is and has never seen anything of it and just knows what it is automatically. Yeah. But this could be a fun adventure for sure.
So we got a price, and you said also a release date, or no? Just a price?
March 26th.
Okay.
So we have the release date and the price.
That's interesting because I'm watching this trailer and some of it looks very polished and some of it looks kind of not polished at all. There's a huge discrepancy in quality between different parts of this trailer. And it's, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, maybe this trailer was put together with footage from months ago, and I'm sure usually the last couple months of game development is all polished and making sure everything's optimized and looking good. So I don't know. I shouldn't judge it before I get my hands on it.
This is by Cortopia Studios, the developer, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I think I forgot to mention.
So it's looking good. And $20, man, sounds like you can't go wrong. Hopefully it handles things well. I'm curious how the perspective is pulled way out at certain points, and I'm wondering how much you are required to put your head into the environment and how often the camera kind of pulls you in and allows you to get a better vantage point without having to move very much.
Yep.
I like the look of this a lot. I mean, it looks like it would be a cool sort of. Somebody in the chat mentioned Ghost Giant. I'm sure it's not the same kind of thing, but it's got that diorama feel. It looks fairly. The art design is good.
And Ghost Giant's really good.
I typically don't care about Alice in Wonderland type stuff, but this looks okay.
To correct myself, to correct myself, I don't think it actually is Alice. It just says the immersive 360 diorama wraps around you as you discover a girl in search of her lost pet, Patches, who has wandered into Wonderland. You will guide her as she moves through the mysterious world looking for her beloved pet. But which way? You control the girl's fate by plotting her journey through the game's many twists and turns. Along the way, you will meet and interact with both new and familiar characters. You will find yourself exploring the most wondrous corners of Wonderland, solving puzzles, uncovering secrets, and making choices about the story as it plays out.
It is definitely Alice in Wonderland, based on the novels.
Pretty much.
The novel, of course.
Yeah.
I believe that's got to be in the public domain by now, right? I don't think anyone has copyright claims on that.
No, I don't think so.
That's a pretty easy go-to for these kind of things.
Get out of here! This is hard!
Oh wow, we got 2 in a
Get
row.
out of my home!
Ooh, let
Okay.
me read one, and then you can read the second one.
Well, the second one is there's nothing to read.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay, you read the first one. I'll
Well,
read
this
the
is
second
from
one.
a fellow David. It's from another David, so
Okay.
I figured I'd read it. David Moore. What's up, Dave? He says, hello, all. Really been enjoying the live streams lately. Thank you, David Moore. The 10 Buccarinos. And then, Brian, you want to read that one from MacGyver's cousin?
Thank you very much, David. Yes, Hugh Guyver, MacGyver's cousin, with a $2 Australian donation saying, wolf face, wolf face, wolf face, wolf face, wolf face. Thank you very much. We appreciate all
Thank
your
you.
wolf
And I
faces.
have a correction. Last week we talked about Guyver's cousin, how much they wrote into USA because they canceled the show. I think you were right when you said that it wasn't a Saturday morning thing. We used to watch like Ninja Turtles and like Mortal Kombat on Saturday morning. I think it was a Friday night
Wait,
show.
you used to
if
watch
I'm not
Mortal
mistaken.
Kombat on Saturday mornings?
Yes, there was like and the Real Ghostbusters. Remember the Real
I remember
Ghostbusters
the Real
USA?
Ghostbusters. Real Ghostbusters was awesome.
Yeah, and I think maybe even Gargoyles was in there.
Okay, that's from Joystick Guru with a $2 donation saying, keep it going. Fist bump, fist bump, fist bump.
Oh, fist bump to you. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much.
Wait, what was the Mortal Kombat thing on Saturday morning? We got to go back to this.
There was a short stint of a Mortal Kombat cartoon. You don't remember that?
Not even
There was
a little bit.
Oh man, yeah. I don't remember if it was good or not though.
I'll tell you right now, it wasn't. I haven't seen it. I never
wasn't.
heard of it. It's garbage.
No, but it's Mortal Kombat, so you're biased.
Dude. Oh my god. Okay. Yep. I am.
No, there
biased.
was.
I like the games.
Just go look it up.
Everything else
Go
is
look it up
trash.
after the show. Or if somebody wants to post the Wikipedia.
Oh,
into
but the
chat.
movies are trash, but they're like pleasant trash.
Oh, hack the
like
game cat.
fun trash.
Also, Hugh Guyver says he thought that those were cat faces. So apologies.
Oh,
That's fair.
Cat face.
They looked like
cat face,
adorable
cat face.
wolves, but I'll go
They
with
are
cats.
little wolves.
Yeah.
They're definitely
And,
wolves.
cool.
and we have enjoyed doing live streams lately. Thank you very much. I'm so glad that there's actually stuff to live stream. It's been wonderful.
In my
with
universe, wolves are
Techno
cats.
Gatsby says, I got Darkwing Duck on Saturday mornings. My
Yeah.
initials were DW, so they used to call me Darkwing Duck for some reason in elementary school.
Monkey Man Games, welcome to the live stream. Says, hold up, catch and release update. This is epic. Damn right, we're gonna get to that pretty soon. Also, real quick, I gotta say, hack Tales from the Crypt. Oh yeah, Mighty Max was okay, but Tales from the Crypt all day.
Oh, we gotta get to the meat of the show. Actually, we've been in here for an hour and we haven't even talked about those updates.
It's all right. We'll get there. We'll
Okay,
get there.
real
You got
quick.
someplace to be?
Big Boy Cheesy Toast.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I've got a life, mother.
Big
I
Boy
gotta eat pizza.
Big Boy Cheesy Toes left a comment on Darkness Roller Coaster video, and he said, "Hi, I'd really appreciate if anyone can help me. So maybe you guys can help him in the chat. My PSVR displays a solid black screen and nothing comes on it. However, the TV acts like my VR is working. For example, if I move the headset, the screen moves. The lights and everything on the headset are functional. The only issue is nothing is being displayed on the TV screen. I'm not using a PS4 Pro, only a PS4 Slim. Can anyone help, please?"
My first thought about that is it's probably something with the breakout box or the cables.
Yeah.
Because if the lights come on and it registers that you're looking around in VR and stuff, then the PS4 side is totally fine. It's got to be something in the connection from.
The problem
Could be the connection.
is that the cables coming from the headset aren't just HDMI cables you can replace. So I
would
would
also-
they're like proprietary, like weird cables.
right,
yeah.
and they're connected to
IT
the headset, I believe, right? So like you can't just unplug it from
This
both
is
ends.
gonna
That's
sound like
it.
a
That's
stupid
where
thing
you
to say.
Back to Sony and you say, "Hey, fix this thing."
or
Yeah.
get someone else's headset
True.
over.
Their support is usually really good when it comes to. I remember Dr. Doom sent his thing in when he needs to, but standard IT 101. Make sure you unplug that breaker box and plug it back in. I swear to God, I know it sounds
For
stupid,
sure.
but I've had so many. I've had audio go out. I've had all this stuff, and I unplug that breaker box, plug it back in, good to go. That would be the one from the back of the box.
And that's our help from here. Hopefully, everyone in the chat might have someone in the chat might have a better solution for you.
Yeah, if somebody has the same thing,
yeah,
or
please.
you can Google it, and there could be threads of the same issue, and that's usually how you find stuff too. Look for people having the same issue on Google.
All right, we got to move on though. What is our next news story, AJ?
All right. Swords of Gargantua. There was a gentleman, one of the devs there, posted a tweet and just shows a picture and says, working on PSVR, laughing face. This comes from Nogi _JP. We know that Swords of Gargantua is a game that's been working on, and we just wanted to clear something up, David, didn't we?
Let's talk about this. Everything says it's a fucking Souls-like game, and it's not. Guys, stop using that so much. Come on. Seriously.
Marvel's is totally a Souls game. What are you talking about?
I'm talking to game journalists and people in general, because it's not just
the Steam reviews, right?
No, they were on Steam reviews. There were a few people who were like, "This is like Dark Souls in VR." There were a few other people who were like, "This is boring and repetitive, and it sucks." So I think there's an even split. When I tried it on Quest, it didn't really get me. I wasn't too stoked about playing it, and it did not feel like Dark Souls at all. People in the chat may yell at me and say I'm wrong, like when I said Synth Riders wasn't that good when I played it on Quest, but I'm not too excited about this one, to be totally honest.
Swords of Gargantua, I'm very excited. This is actually like one of my more anticipated. I remember Just Incredible, Rev Johnny, a couple guys were telling me that this is probably right up my alley, that it's more of an arena-based combat. There is like co-op in it. There is a level up system, skill system, stuff like that. I know it has kind of a generic background look, like it looks kind of basic gray textures, stuff like that. But, you know, it's got that golem kind of combat, it looks like. And I love the fact that there's like loot and like different great swords. Like they post stuff like every other day about like, you know, the updates they're providing on the PC side, which I assume will eventually be making it to us as a full package once it comes to PSVR. But this is definitely one of my more anticipated games. He did tell me though that it is a physical game. Like you'll get a workout playing this, which is fine by me. I don't mind games like those most of the time, especially, you know, if you remember Golem, it was kind of physical. Like it wasn't like, you know, like Creed physical, but it was like kind of physical. Like I think I broke a sweat a couple times once they start ramping up the speed of the attacks and stuff. And I think it's going to be something like that. A lot of pairing. I love sword fighting in VR, and we don't have enough sword fighting pairing attacks, stuff like that. We've got Golem and Shadow Legend, and that's it. And we need more of those.
Yeah. And really, only as much as I love Shadow Legend, only Golem really nailed it. Like,
nailed it, right?
Really nailed it. Yeah.
And I love Souls games. I love Bloodborne. I love Demon Souls as well. I did like some of Dark Souls, but not as much as the other two. And yeah, I think it's okay to say that there are some similar elements. But yeah, I mean, for real, it's kind of like a meme at this point. It's like a joke to say, like, you know, Crash Bandicoot is the Dark Souls of platformers. You know, it's like, it's one thing to be like, it's a funny joke, but it's getting way out of hand to where people are like, oh, this is the next Dark Souls in VR. And it's like, we just want to make sure we clear the air. And this is an arena combat game. If anything, I'm hoping it resembles more of a, like, with this new Abyss mode, that it has like kind of maybe a little sense of adventure, little sense of dungeon crawling into it. It's not what it's going to be, but you know, Ash VR says have Swords of Gargantua on my Quest. Pretty cool game. So definitely looking forward to this one, and just wanted to clear that up.
Excellent.
Paper Beasts. This should be interesting. Paper Beasts finally got a new trailer, and this time showed off a lot more of the sandbox mode, or showed off the sandbox mode where you're manipulating the environment and the way that, you know, different things, similar to a game, if anybody remembers, called From Dust, where it was like a godlike game.
Oh yeah, no, I totally remember From Dust. Wow,
this was very.
It wasn't in my brain, but then now it's here.
This looked very similar to From Dust, but like a smaller version of it. But much to my surprise, I was very surprised to see a lot of people actually being like, okay, now I'm excited for paper.
This looks cool. No, this looks really cool, actually. I haven't seen this until just now. But the terrain manipulation and like putting water in places and making rivers and stuff, that's really cool. I like that a lot. And the water looks fucking beautiful.
I want to know what we're going to do with this stuff. Right, sandbox mode is cool. Like, obviously, terrain manipulation is great. The water physics look amazing. It looks very, very cool, I'm sure. And as we already know, all this stuff is going to look even cooler in VR. It seems like there's a good set of tools that are pretty capable of creating worlds.
Well, then you go down onto the ground floor and you make a bunch of creatures, and then you just walk around your little creation, being like, "Look how cool this thing is." So I guess there's nothing that exciting about it.
It's purely about the interaction. It seems
right. That's my problem.
It's really fucking beautiful, though. Like, this looks awesome. I can't wait to see this in the headset.
I can't wait to see what the adventure mode is all about, because it's the sandbox mode. There is an adventure mode. I want to know what the gameplay of the real game is like. I mean, this I can't get.
Well, they've already said that it's going to have scene to scene. You manipulate the environment to kind of solve like a hidden puzzle or situation that's going on, and you have to figure out by manipulating the environment, by manipulating the paper dogs or whatever, that it creates some kind of reaction, and then it moves to the next scene. What I'm most curious to see in the future is, does it go past this desert area? Like, is it just this desert area, and then maybe go into like a dark crystal area at the end, which it kind of seems like it might, some mountains or something. I'm interested to see like how many environments there are that it actually goes through. I do see mountains in the back, so I have a feeling you'll get there eventually. But
this is the best comment I've seen tonight. Joe Grover says, "Paper Beast is the From Dust of Dark Souls."
That is really good. I like that.
Nice. You won, Joe. You won the chat.
But yeah, I'm interested to see people in the chat. Are you? Yeah, it does look like a God game, Sonic. Kind of. Well, this is just a mode, a sandbox mode, which is like a little God mode thing. People seem really excited to just be able to mess around with the environments, be able to change, manipulate the different surroundings, and see how things react. I imagine that things you do in the story mode possibly unlocks more tools to use in the sandbox mode.
Yeah, that would make sense.
They kind of work hand in hand like that. That's like
most
usual.
Games do that. Yeah,
right. That to me is just using common sense. But I want to see like how deep this game goes. I have a feeling it's going to be a very beautiful, like relaxing experience. But yeah, there's a couple more things I see here. Actually, I didn't notice before. This whole tornado and storm stuff going on. All right, that does look pretty cool. Now I'm excited too.
This looks pretty goddamn good. I think in the headset it's going to be beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just want to see more. I want to be excited for this game, and everything they've shown me so far has been like, okay, but show me something that's going to excite me. But this is going to be at PAX, so I'll get back to you guys and let you know.
Nice. Let us know.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we were just talking about Zone of the Enders.
Fuck you!
Oh god, here we go. This comes from Nihilist Ryan, the game feline, meow, with the $5 donation.
Thank you.
And says, "Hey all, Zone of the Enders is $10 on the PS Store right now. Not bad for that price. It's the Dark Souls of Mech Combat."
Almost didn't.
Smiley face art.
Excellent.
Look what you did, Nihilist Ryan.
Kevgret just said something very accurate. Is the Dark Souls of PSVR without Parole. You are the Dark Souls.
I love Dark Souls games, man. That shit never. I love Bloodborne. I'm actually I'm looking forward to From Software's next game, like Elden Ring, something like that. I'm curious to see what that's all about. But I'm too head first into PSVR. Zone of the Enders for $10 is not a bad price. I think if you have a whole list of games to play first, then it's one that you want on the back end, on the backlog. But during January, waiting up for Shadow Legend, this is one of the 20,000 conversations we had in the Discord last night. Make sure you guys join the Discord because it is a blast. And yeah, when I had nothing to play, I went back to Zone of the Enders. It is very much like playing a PS2 Kojima game in VR, but like literally just straight ported from PS2 to VR with like very little thing. It still feels like kind of like tank controls. It still feels like a couple other things, but they actually did a decent job with it. But yeah, if you've got nothing else, it's a cool mech game. but it is very much a button masher. I mean, you are going to get through this entire game just pressing the same 2 buttons, 3 buttons over and over and over and over. So it's very dated, but it's still kind of cool. $10 is not bad.
Pretty cool. You should get it for $10. That's all I have to say.
For sure.
Very good.
I have
amount.
Great memories of that game on PS2. I love that game on PS2. It absolutely affected how I thought of it in VR. I think if you didn't play it on PS2, you're not going to quite love it as much as I did, but $10, man, is kind of a no-brainer. I do want to say the VR Grid said, anyone remember Anamorphine? What happened to the PSVR version? They couldn't get it running. They couldn't get it running with proper frame rate. The PS4 version doesn't even run with a proper frame rate, and it's super simple. It's kind of boring. It doesn't tell as good of a story as you would have liked. It's supposed to be a super emotional thing. It's not terribly good. We didn't miss out on anything, I promise you. All right, let's move along.
Wonder Rob, it is so good to see you, my friend, in the chat. Really awesome to see you, dude.
Hey, Wonder Rob, how's it going?
Haven't seen you in a minute.
This one, we got to talk about this one. All right, go ahead, AJ.
This one.
All right, so this is another interesting one. Justin Wasilenko, creator of Endspace.
I'm sure you didn't butcher that at all.
I think it's very incorrect.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me pull up your name. I apologize, Justin. Justin, creator of Endspace, which I am excited to talk about this game. He has actually just posted on Twitter. Was it today? February 12th. It was from yesterday. Justin Wasilenko. He says, "Are you or anyone you know of a TIE Fighter fan of the amazing Star Wars game from 1994? Then please fill out this small survey." It has the form right there, and shape the future of space combat games. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because A, it seems like he is creating a brand new space game, and B, he also created Endspace. And I want to talk about Endspace, but before we talk about Endspace and get your thoughts on it,
can we do it briefly?
Yes, we can do it briefly. Okay. Yes, absolutely.
Because I want to talk about the real stuff this week.
But can you hit the thing real quick?
Yeah, sure. Hold on.
Fuck you! This is my free world.
That comes from Nissan, the Game Cat lover, with the $10 donations. It says, "I borrow $10." You guys just need to calm down. You guys in the chat, you are a rowdy bunch. You need to calm down.
Dude, it is a crazy night, man. Like this is fun, man.
I am loving this. I am having a blast right now, man.
Yeah. Like so, GamesCast Live is something we do every Thursday at 6 p.m. But man, like you guys just made it a real fun night so far tonight. So thank you very much for all being here and being part of the chat, keeping us entertained while we try to entertain you.
So I because Dave wants to be brief. I guess we'll be brief.
I want to be boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs. So Endspace is a game, for anyone who doesn't know, arcade space fighter game.
It's Wing Commander without any of the cinemas or a title screen or anything other than 9 missions.
It's also kind of like 8 missions, but it did take me like I think 7-8 hours.
What? Oh my god, like a couple hours at best for me.
Yeah, it took me like a couple hours. I may have played it, I don't know, but yeah,
it was good.
This was a game. Simple. This was a game that I actually really liked because we have this the Star Wars Rogue One mission, and I wanted more of that. Eve Valkyrie came out, and Eve Valkyrie, in terms of like presentation, graphics, all that, is like miles and miles ahead. However, it didn't have a single player campaign, so I was ecstatic when I started playing Endspace, and I'm like, this is an arcade space fighter like game, and it's story driven. It's a single player story driven. It works. It plays really well with the DualShock 4. I thought the controls were really nice. They did add in.
Does it have HOTAS support?
They did add in HOTAS support, but it didn't launch with HOTAS support.
Yeah.
But I really liked this game, and then I recommended this game to somebody, and they flipped the fuck out. And I never recommended this game again because I was too scared.
Here's the thing. It's okay. It's okay. It's like there's
better. Tell me it's going to be okay again, Dave.
It's frequently on sale for $6, and for $6, buy it.
For $6, that's totally fine. It's a port of a mobile game. You should know that.
Yep.
And for $6, that's good. If you have an itch to scratch for that specific style of space combat, it's not bad. There are better things out there, but they don't have. Nothing really has a lot of meat on the bones. You know, like you said, Eve Valkyrie, unless you're playing multiplayer, is kind of like bare bones, and then X-Wing mission is like 20 minutes. Like there's a bunch of short stuff, that Call of Duty thing. I don't know.
I want to know what everybody says in the chat. It looks like so Kevgret says End Space goes sport. Believe it or not, I would actually recommend the DualShock. I know that sounds crazy, but I just thought it played well like an arcade shooter with DS4, and I would actually recommend it with that over the HOTAS. I didn't enjoy it as much with the HOTAS.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really tight controls with the DualShock 4.
Yeah, I never
actually.
Played this
Now
one
that I
with
remember,
HOTAS. DualShock 4 for me.
2 people that I recommended this game were not having a good time with it. So, but anyways, the whole point is make sure you go to my Twitter and find this. It's one of my most recent tweets, and fill out this survey, because I've been clamoring for an X-Wing versus TIE Fighter kind of game for quite some time right now, and this dude's already working on the next one. Clearly, sounds to me like it could be a PS5 title. Because he's just gathering ideas. So.
I love that he sends out that tweet as if he just got the rights to TIE Fighter, right? He's like, dude, because it sounds like that. Like that's the gist you get. But then you're like, oh no, he's just gonna rip off TIE Fighter the same way he ripped off Wing Commander, and fucking good on him, man. Let's get that shit in VR. Let's do it.
Yeah, I just, the thing is, like, I don't know. Of course, everybody likes TIE Fighter, and if you want to take feedback from people. Game. The feedback is, of course, make a TIE Fighter in VR. Do it.
Nick Milo, whose opinion we find to be rather controversial, says, I liked End Space all right, but I just never felt like finishing it. Can't really recommend it. So
that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, I finished it and I liked it. So I guess maybe if you don't give up like I do, like you're too stubborn, it's worth recommending.
It's super bare bones. Keep that in mind. There are no cinematics. There's no menu screen. There's no intro. There's no title screen. It is like, here's 7 missions, and it's just like mission, then mission, then mission, then mission. You get some voiceovers in your radio headset, and that's all you really get. It is super stripped down. But man, again, wait for a sale. $6. Do it up. That's it. Moving on.
Real quickly, we thank you guys for humoring me on that, because I wanted to see what everyone's opinion on it, because I really liked it and nobody else did. Des Snowgall was asking about Res Infinite. Yeah, it's worth it on sale. I wouldn't pay full price for Res Infinite, but the whole game is in VR.
But it's Mizuguchi.
But there's one VR
mode. You're absolutely right, Mizuguchi.
There is one mode called Area X, which is ground up VR, and it's really
but the whole game,
yes, I do. And he also says, how about Skyrim VR? Is it worthy to buy it? Yes. Another game that goes on sale often, though, so get it while it's on sale.
Are you intentionally stretching out this segment of the show because Dave wanted us to hurry up?
No, is
it because that's what it sounds like you're doing?
I'm just here to. No,
we're not still talking about End Space, are we?
No, we are not, Dave.
I mean, I've got a Res trailer playing, so I guess we've officially moved on.
I just want to briefly touch base on Resident Evil 7.
Sorry, Dave. We're going to spend quite a bit of time on this.
Yeah, let's talk about it forever.
The best game on PlayStation
no,
VR.
Just briefly. But not according to your Twitter poll.
No, I'm in a smaller majority. Okay, I'm in the fucking minority.
Look, I don't think you can compare Astrobot and Resident Evil 7. I think it's impossible to compare the two.
I said, which one's your favorite? How are you not comparing? Just saying, which one's your favorite?
I thought you said which one's better.
Well, whatever, better, favorite, whatever.
No, there's a difference. There's very much a difference.
Okay, then Resident Evil should have won because it's a better game. all right, come on. What's the news story, AJ?
All right. So real quick, this comes as of Focus, and they said so recently we talked about Resident Evil 7 being at the 6.5 million mark and in sales, and then also was 15% confirmed for VR. I've got some more numbers and just wanted to give a congratulations to Resident Evil, to Capcom. It has made Capcom's top 5 most sold video games at 7 million. It has surpassed. It has sold more than Resident Evil 2, the original 2 versions of that, but it hasn't sold more than Resident Evil 6 and 5. funny enough, the worst Resident Evils. The number has also bumped up 1% at 16% are VR players, and that puts it at about 833,632 users have played this game.
Specific. Did you do the math on that?
And of course I did. I'm a human calculator, Dave. I got this from the article. Okay. I suck hard at math.
I thought you were gonna have like
I can't even pronounce words correctly, Dave.
Andrew Yang pin that said math on your phone.
I just play video games good, Dave. Anyways, huge milestone for Resident Evil 7. Really, really happy for that. We have heard some speculation about the Resident Evil 8, but we're not going to get into that because we don't talk about speculation and rumors around here. We talk facts, and these are facts. But huge milestone for them. Hope to see the next iteration definitely get some VR support. Any final words on this, guys?
Nope.
Only that Resident Evil 8 it sounds like it's going to be in first person, and if it doesn't have VR support, I'm quitting playing VR games forever.
Nissan, the Game Cat lover, meow, says still haven't bought Resident Evil 7. Drunk to give it a go now and not to give a shit about what jumps at me. Do it,
Nissan.
Do it.
I can't. People who haven't played Resident Evil 7,
you have to.
Baffling.
You have to.
Baffling.
I know.
Best
even
experience I've ever had in my life. And I've done a lot of drugs, man. This is the best experience I've ever had in my life. 14 hours the first time through. So memorable. I wish I could delete it from my brain and do it again. That's all.
It is absolutely amazing. I look, even if you have to give this game a shot, and you have to, you will be rewarded. Everybody is scared to shit when they play this game. Nobody's different. I was scared. Brian was scared. Mm-hmm. Dave was scared. My friends were scared. That guy is Will.
Don't speak for me.
What, were you not scared?
I don't get scared.
Come on. You're not Des.
You weren't scared from Resident Evil 7. No, like really, I want to know. Were you not scared?
There were some moments that were like
interesting
horror stuff, but like I don't get scared by a thing that I know that I consciously put myself in that's totally fake. Like when I see people like waiting to open a door, like, oh my god, I can't open the door. Maybe I'm dead inside. I don't know, but like they'll be sitting there waiting, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna open that fucking door, and if there's a guy, I'll shoot him, or if not, I'll run. Like I don't know. Stuff doesn't scare me the same way.
The ability to be scared is the last emotion I have. The last emotion I'm capable of, Dave. I'm holding on to it.
Five Nights at Freddy's just annoyed me.
Yeah, if Resident Evil 7 wasn't scary.
I thought Five Nights at Freddy's was just like
we're all well aware.
Another jump scare. There's a guy in my face who's like a silly animatronic.
That shit, I don't know, man. Like Resi 7, FNAF, Red Hall scared the hell out of me.
Matthew Longo, was your first time through in VR? That's my question. He says 7 hours. Come on, man. You did you have any fun or just blast through it, man? All right.
Yeah, my first time was 13. But scared and startled. Yeah, that guy is Will, who's notorious for being really bad at non-scary games. He loved Resident Evil 7. I just want to tell people to encourage them to go out and play Resident Evil 7 if you have a VR headset. It's just something you have to do. I know it's going to be harder for some than others, but you're missing out on one of, if not the best VR games there is out there. And that's coming from somebody who voted for Astrobot in that poll.
You did what? You betrayed me?
I did, yes, because I didn't betray myself.
Okay.
Gorn. We have some news on Gorn.
It's out right now.
Most high. Yes, go out and get it. No. The developers were asked recently about, like, how's the game coming along? It says, so I got two questions about Gorn. One, what's the progression to be successfully done with Gorn for PlayStation VR? And he says, good. Second question says, what do you think the game price would cost on the PlayStation Store? And he answered, $20! Exclamation point. I love these guys' attitude. I really, really love these guys' personalities. Really cool stuff. But
this is the benefit of being an indie developer. I love when they just fucking answer questions.
Just don't give a shit. Like there's no Sony breathing down your neck. Like don't say that.
Right.
But yeah, what do you guys think about that price point? You think that's going to be fair? You think it's a little too much? Don't know yet.
I think it's okay. What do you say, $20?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's the same as the PC price because usually we get the PlayStation tax, right?
Except the PC version is still in early access, isn't it? And it's $20.
Well, that's what they did with Beat Saber too.
Yeah.
Beat Saber was in early access when they gave it to us on PSVR.
But Beat Saber was $20 on PC, and then when it came out of early access, it became $30, the same price as on PlayStation VR. So that's why I was a little surprised to see. Exactly. Because I expected to see Gorn go up slightly, maybe 25, 30 something in price when it came out of early access, and it's apparently not going to if they're going to keep the price the same on PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised and very happy because I don't think I'd want to pay more than $20 for Gorn. As far as I know,
that is definitely the max I want to pay.
Yeah, I mean, I know everyone's crazy excited for it, but I mean,
people bought Drunken Bar Fight is like on the top 10 most sold VR games every freaking month somehow. And this is $7 more. So hopefully people start buying this instead because it's probably nothing against Drunken Bar Fight except I think that game sucks.
Yeah, I mean it's
that's like my most viewed video on YouTube by far.
I know. What was the number at?
It's at like 70 or 80,000 now, which is crazy because most of my shit, I'll post a review of a game and I get like 800 views and I'm like, all right, that's fine. This is like skyrocketing. And every day I look at my views and it's mostly just that video.
I feel like Drunken Barfoot's a joke that got out of hand. Like they were just like playing around, in development, like, oh look, you can pick up this guy and throw him in a bar. Okay, cool. And then they were like, they just never stopped.
Kind of fun about it, yeah.
Kev Gret says $20 is fine for something a few hours. I don't think the rest of the internet agrees with you. In fact, I hear so many times. I talk to Brian about this all the time. It really saddens me when there's a fantastic game and it's like 4 hours long, and people are like, "No, I don't care if it's $25, $20. It's 4 hours long. I don't want to play it."
We're talking about Shadow Legend.
Yeah, it really makes me sad that people would pass on a spectacular game, spectacular experience that's 4 hours long, if not more, if you replay it. Just because of the length. It could be an amazing, perfect game, and then I don't know. I don't get it. It just makes me sad sometimes. So, we'll see what happens. Yeah. And people do, especially the younger generation, loves games like this where there's gore and you just fight shit, and they love stuff like that. That's why Drunken Bar Fight's doing so well. Yeah. I really don't think adults are going out and buying Drunken constantly.
This will be at PAX East. I can't wait to play it so I can finally figure out what all the hype is about. The trailers are making me go, hey, this looks like a fun little game. And then I see 2,000 comments every single day going, I can't wait for Gorn. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I can't wait to be on your level of excitement and get to that point. Hopefully after I play it, that'll happen.
All right, we are almost through this, Dave, to the point where you want to be. But
the part where we talk about the games that we've been playing this week.
Yes, we have one more thing of news. One more update on Ilysia, which the developers Team 21 Studio recently posted in their dev blog February 10th, and it says I love the title. It's pronounced Ilysia. I'm assuming lots of people were having issues talking about it. But anyways, they did a recent meetup in VR where people and there's a full Tavern Talk video that you can go check out from their website. Just go to team21studio.com. But some of the highlights, they just went over some of the game, what the game's features are that they're currently working on, some of their roadmap things. As anyone who doesn't know, this is a very much World of Warcraft looking MMO fantasy RPG for VR that's being created.
And just real quick before you continue, AJ, in case anyone didn't read that introductory screen, these are not the final graphics. These are placeholder graphics so you can get an idea of how everything's going to move around. The game's not going to look like a crayon drawing. That's what they're promising. So before anyone goes, this looks terrible. All right, sorry.
I love what they, I don't think they have a year, at least on PlayStation. But it could. But I think they're doing pretty well overall. However, we'll see what happens. But he says currently and about the world size. Currently and at launch, Ilysia will be roughly 20 kilometers by 24 kilometers, 12 miles by 14 miles. He says when Xander and I wander through the world, it takes us about 2.5 to 3 hours to run from one side of the world to the other, taking into account that is without any obstacles or enemies slowing us down, as that would be the case in the full version. So basically saying that to run from one side of the map to the other without any enemies, without any quests, anything to do, takes about 2 to 3 hours alone. There's professions. Something that they plan to do are professions and not just a typical blacksmith and tailor type, but they want to be able to have merchants, traders, bartenders, and other professions that lean less towards roles that require combat and more towards peaceful playstyle. I think this is really cool. This was one thing that made EverQuest really successful, was people that I know that still play EverQuest to this day, 1998, they literally sit there and just act like merchants and just sit in a cave where like hundreds of people are just like sitting there in the cave and just trading and selling stuff to each other. Just a couple more of these dungeons and raids. Ilysia will contain both dungeons and raids. We have come up with a very creative and unique idea for dungeons and raids, and we cannot wait to tell everybody about in the Kickstarter. Anybody that played WoW or a lot of MMOs, I think, did Diablo have raids or dungeons or anything like that?
Oh, Diablo has all kinds of stuff now. Diablo has all sorts of adventure modes.
Anybody that's not familiar, you group up, you queue up with a couple people, and then you go do these like dungeons and stuff, and there's usually a boss at the end, a bunch of enemies you fight through, and you kind of have to work together. A lot of MMOs, there's people healing, there's people doing damage, there's people being a tank where they take all the damage, but they can. So pretty cool stuff there. There's different races. They said it's going to launch with about 3 races, but they want to plan for 8. If people that don't want to be social, there is like single player stuff. And finally, that's actually pretty much about it. There's some stuff about travel. There is a skill system too, where they said that even if you are spec'd for a warrior, you can pick up a crossbow or a mage staff, but you're not going to be as well prepared for that, or your skills aren't going to be built for that. So you're not going to be as good as somebody that is spec'd for that. But I love MMOs, so really excited about this one and wanted to share this update with you guys.
So the developers had asked me to be part of this meetup in VR. Just to kind of Q&A and kind of like take a look at what they're doing and working on. I'm super busy last week and I couldn't make it. And also this game is really far out on PlayStation VR. Like we want to be excited for it, but man, you can tell how early it is on PC. I don't think they're even touching PlayStation VR until this thing is done. So we got quite a ways to go. So these placeholder graphics.
I'm still very excited about it.
Yeah, these placeholder graphics are obviously placeholders, and that's what you got to keep in mind. There's a lot of systems that they're getting in place, and it's something to be excited for. But just keep in mind that, man, it's gonna be a while, and I would bet one of my kidneys at least that this is going to end up being pushed to PlayStation 5.
I think so too, if I had to guess. And like I don't mean that in like a negative.
Nope.
I'm just thinking in a realist way. I think that it is going to be a PlayStation 5 title. Yeah. Once it eventually gets to us, but very, very much looking forward to it. Very excited. I love a lot of MMOs. They're really fun, and they breed some of the most awesome communities behind them. And we already have an amazing community. Everyone in the chat right now, everyone in the Discord, everyone, just VR in general has an amazing community. So this will be really interesting. I know Dave stepped away.
He's back. Dave, hit that fucker for us. I got this one. Now, Dave, we need sound. We need sound, Dave. Sound.
Oh, I want this one.
Okay.
Come on, tree guy.
You can do the rest.
There it is. Okay, so Joe Grover with the big old $25 says, I played the original levels of Super Stardust Ultra VR in VR, and then played it in 2D just to see what would happen.
Uh-huh.
VR was amazing. I couldn't process the game in 2D. Try it, I dare you. You will implode. That's some big words. I hope no one out there actually implodes when playing this game. But Super Stardust Ultra VR we don't talk about ever, but it is a fun game. And I wish Housemarque would make more VR stuff. because they accidentally leaked that Nex Machina was coming to PSVR, and that would have been very nice, but it didn't happen. So, anyways, that's
Holy shit, Brian! I'm just seeing this thing you're showing. That is the first time I've ever seen this before. That looks like fucking Super Mario World.
It looks insane.
I'm a little sad this isn't the final art
Yoshi's
style.
Island.
That is not what I've seen. I've never seen. Oh my god!
There's a little piece of me that wishes this was it. This was like how a big crayon sword that you pick up.
I didn't even notice until the chat. The chat was just like, my eyes are burning.
Right.
The sun looks real.
We just need Yoshi's Island in VR, I think.
I definitely think that Super Stardust in VR. This was a great. I think this was a launch title, right, or soon after.
Yeah, and they made their own little battle zone to include as well.
Yeah,
which is
little fake super simple. It's super simple.
It's not as good as
Right, it's a quick little 10 level, I believe. Thing you can blast through in like an hour or so. But yeah, even just I think as Joe Grover was saying, playing the normal 2D game that they kind of ported into VR, it gives that amount of depth, and you're able to see all the enemies and all the projectiles clear, even though you go down a bit in resolution. These devs are a Housemarque. They're always taking full advantage of like high res everything. Everything looks super crisp and sharp on a TV. But you sacrifice a little of that resolution, and you gain so much more. That depth that you're getting made the game so much easier for me to play, to the point where I don't think I can play it outside of VR.
I accept your challenge.
It's pretty awesome. And the other thing that is we don't mention very often, we ought to do a stream like this. There is a way to let people interact with you. There's a streamer mode when you're playing Super Stardust VR, where people can put stuff in the chat and it affects what happens in your game.
Huh. I don't think I knew that.
It's pretty crazy. I haven't had a chance to try it, but it technically works. I've seen videos of it and stuff. So that'd be a fun like GameCat stream. People come through and affect, sort of like a Bout of Blood, where you could vote on the app, like what happens to people. It's the same kind of thing.
All right, it is the time. Dave Station VR has been waiting.
Time for the meat.
We have gotten 3 releases this week. 2 come in the form of major updates. 1 was a game that was actually released on the PSN Store, digital only. First, we're going to talk about the update that Brian streamed earlier, that I streamed like 2 days ago, that Dave hopefully streams at some point. Catch and Release VR.
Such a soothing game. I forgot when I went back in.
Does anyone have anything to say about it?
Yeah, no, I do. The cave is very deep. There's a lot to this cave.
Real quick, for anyone who doesn't know, this is a fishing game, but it's also more than a fishing game. It's about the great outdoors. It's a lot of fun. It's very immersive. It's a beautiful looking world. Continue, Dave. They've added a cave.
they've added a cave, and it's beautiful. There's so many cool little areas. There's like, you'll be rowing along and you're in this open cavern where there's rain falling down on your head, or there'll be like a half finished like underground structure that looks like kind of tribal or something. I don't know. It's very cool. There's cave paintings. There's new fish. It's fun. What do you think?
Well, everybody knows how I feel about this game. I always fight for it in the top 20. And yes, Kev Gret, it was in the last 3 top 20s. But actually, the last time I even left it up to the GameCats between Red Matter, Sprint Vector, and Catch and Release. Yeah. And all the cats voted Catch and Release in there. And I'm so glad because this game is just the gift that keeps on giving, man. And of all the updates they've done weather, they've done new bait, they've done nighttime, new fish. This is the first like expansion completely free of cost. And this cave is pretty big and it's beautiful. And I loved exploring around it. And there's definitely some secrets to find, some secret fish and stuff to get in this game. But this is another game where I absolutely, especially speaking to the developers, guys, this is a game that could use our help and that could use our support. And I'm never going to tell you like what to go out and get or whatever, how to spend your money.
Buy Catch and Release. No, be quiet. Quiet. Everybody just go buy Catch and Release
because it's worth it. Because it's worth your money is what I'm saying. I'm not saying buy it just to support it. but I'm saying it is worth the amount that it costs. It does go on sale from time to time. So if at most wait a month or no more than 2 and see if it goes on sale again. But if it doesn't, I cannot implore you guys to pick this game up as soon as possible. I know it's a fishing game. I still see, like, Brian enjoys it. A lot of people, everybody who I've recommended to this game.
It's very relaxing.
What a shill.
It's very cool. It's the most chill game.
There is no multiplayer in this game, but it's not, I keep wanting more. And while I agree that would be awesome, that's not something like I feel like has to be. I don't feel like it takes away from this game being single player. This game is it's $20 usually $20. This game is like hours and hours. People bitch about these short length games day and night, and I get so sick of it. This game is both a full length, like I'm at like 20 hours in this game right now. And 20 hours and counting. I have more stuff to do, more secrets to find. It's not just sitting there and fishing. It's the exploration of this place. The world, the lake looks really great. This cave looks fantastic. There's so much that this game offers for $20. It's so much game in such a small package, and it's really enjoyable. And I can't recommend this game enough. And knowing the situation with the devs, if you guys want multiplayer, if you guys want a sequel, you're never going to get it unless you give this game a chance. Out of all the fishing games, this is the only one that matters. I did actually like Monsters of the Deep, the Final Fantasy one, but that's just because it was tied to my nostalgia with Final Fantasy. This is a far superior fishing game. And fishing games, trust me, guys, they can be really fun when they're done right. This one is my favorite fishing game of all time. Granted, I haven't played a whole bunch of them, but this one is really good. And I have yet to see somebody come back like they did with Endspace and be like, you told me to buy this game. It's terrible. I've not heard one single person come back to me and complain about this game. Promise you, it's really good.
I think you said it all.
Yeah.
Is my positive rant.
There we go. Brian, how'd you feel about the new update?
It's great, man. The only downside is that it's there's some audio issue that really kind of ruined my enjoyment of it. Absolutely love this game though. Like I loved it since day one, but again, they do keep patching it over and over. They gave us a graphics update patch. This newest patch has even more improved graphics with reflections in the water, and everything just kind of looks and feels right. I figured out that I'm terrible at rowing the boat. Because
the rowing is so hard. I realized that tonight too when I tried it. I was just like,
well, in the lake it's fine, right? Because you're just like, you get this big expanse where you're just like, okay, whatever. But maneuvering down
the
cavernous cave, it's some tight areas.
It's always just like hard right, hard left, hard right, hard left. Yeah.
So, and then figuring out where I've got zero sense of direction, and so this cave just throws me for a loop. You do find a map. I found a map you always find random stuff when you have your hook in the water. You find like engagement rings, and you'll find trash, boots, beer cans, whatever. But then I found a map on this wooden board, and I was like, oh, this is the cave that I'm in. And it was too much for me to deal with. I couldn't even like maneuver the cave with the map, and it does point to some secrets. There's some fishy stuff going on in that cave. Curious to know what that stuff is.
There is. You find, like you said, you find that map. You see all these things on the wall, stuff like that, and you're like, what is the story that it's trying to tell? Knowing Jason Garber, the creator of this game, there's some secret shit in there, and like I want to find it. I definitely want to find it. There's stuff on that lake too. I mean, you guys have had time by now. There's monsters and shit on the lake that you can see. There's secret stuff. There's animals wandering around in the forest that you actually like. There's a side quest kind of thing you can do where you take pictures, and it's kind of like a little Pokemon Snap. Amazing game, by the way. Little Pokemon Snap side game in Catch and Release where you're taking pictures of those, putting them in your journal. This is another, like Shadow Legend, a VR ass game. Like, there's lots of stuff to interact with. How good and how easy is it to throw those stones? I never have like any tracking issues. I think you maybe had mentioned some, but I don't ever have tracking issues with this game. But yeah, this is a fantastic VR game. I love drinking beers. I'm sorry to bother you, Brian, earlier about drinking beers, especially with the Real Big Fish reference, because I like the song Beer. But I love grabbing the two beers, going and just like like there's a lot of interactive stuff in this game beyond just fishing, which makes it really.
Yeah, no, that's the great thing about this is that I don't care about fishing. I've never been fishing. I've never had a desire to go out.
Wait, you've
on a
never
boat.
been fishing in your entire life?
No, I grew up in the country too, like in the backwoods of nowhere, and you know, a lot of my friends were like they went fishing, and I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want to go outside. I've always been this exact same person from the time I was born.
Oh no,
to
I'm not an outside person, but my parents have made me go fishing, and it's kind of fun. It's fine. You sit there, you chill, you're waiting for stuff to get hooked. It works occasionally.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I have zero interest in actual fishing, but this game is fun as hell.
It is very good.
Yeah, and the mission structure. I love the mission structure. I keep referring to it as Jetpack.
It is the mission journal, is what it's called.
But I keep referring to the structure as like Jetpack Joyride, where you know you have to accomplish all three of these things before they all disappear, and you get a new set of them. But once all three are gone, you unlock something, and it's just so rewarding because there's always that carrot dangling on the end of the string where you're just like there's a reward just out of reach. I got to spend a little bit more time doing that. I think I want to say it was Dylan Gladstone in the chat asking how long this normal game session lasts. And I was like, man, it could last anywhere from 10 minutes in catch and release to, 4 hours, man. Like you could spend all day in this game. So it's really whatever you're in the mood for.
Awesome. So the other update that we got, like one more time, if you're curious about this game, like I highly recommend this game. Brian highly recommends this game. Dave, do you highly recommend this game?
Absolutely.
You guys really should give it a chance. Really, promise you. We won't steer you wrong. Speaking of another update that we got this week, oh man, another really, really awesome Rush VR by the Binary Mill.
Oh yeah,
got the long-awaited Molten Tropics update and some. It also got a free flight mode with collectibles. And man, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. But I had an absolute blast with this, and I really love the new level, and I really the collectibles.
Yeah. So this week has been great for me because I love caves and volcanoes and thunderstorms and all this kind of stuff
and waterfalls.
Oh, when I went through the waterfall on this volcano stage, oh my god, that was so cool. So first of all, the new level is awesome, of course. All of these are so well designed, pretty much. Like you have one stage where you have like 15 or 20 different routes you can go through on a race, but it's the same level, you know? So the free flight mode lets you kind of just explore and like figure out what all is there. And it's really fun going through and trying to get all those gold and silver collectibles. Like you would think free flight mode could be boring, but it's actually pretty exciting because it's got that like collectathon feel to it. So I went back and played some of the other non-volcano stages in free flight, and that was really fun too.
Right? Yeah, and they've got two sets of collectibles. They've got silver collectibles, and then they've got gold ones. And the gold ones are harder to get.
They're pretty goddamn hard sometimes.
Right. They're usually like in these little crevices or down by like where hazards can be and stuff like that. And there is a reward actually for collecting these. They've added more wingsuits as well. Brian, I feel like I want to hear you say something about this.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, no, the free flight mode is great, right? It gives you a whole nother reason to play the game in a completely different way. Usually, your only mission objective is to not crash and hopefully finish the race first. But this is crazy. You jump off that first ledge and there's just collectibles everywhere. Like they just seem to be everywhere, and you're like, I don't even know where to start. Right? There's no way you're getting all of these on your first run. It's going to take you like 10 runs minimum to get all these things. And it was hilarious for me to be going past like a cliffside, and then that mountain or that cliff ends, and I look to my left, and there's a gold medallion right there. And I was like, well, I can't do that now, but I have to remember it's there for the next time I go down this run and prepare and try to get at it from another angle. This is going to take forever. This basically doubled the size of the game for me. It's going to take forever to get through all these.
And it still feels so good. I mean, if you guys haven't played Rush VR, there are a lot of control options, but every one of them feels great. And especially like if you liked Eagle Flight, just the head tracking is a really fun and valid way to play that game. You don't need to use the move controllers if you don't have them or if you don't want to, but it just feels so VR as fuck. Like you're saying earlier, like it's VR as fuck. That feeling of just like if you put a fan on you, you know, skimming right across the edge to get the boost and like cutting around a corner real tight to get that boost. It's just the feeling of playing it is just one of the coolest things you can do in VR, I think.
Yeah. Gumball's Game Room says games like Rush VR are exactly. I cannot agree
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
more.
Exactly.
When I think of experiences, games to do in VR, I want to do stuff like jumping off the side of a cliff and a wingsuit and flying down the mountain, but then it also having enough game there as well, not just the experience of just falling down the cliff, but collectibles to find. There's a score, there's like a score attack where they have targets like pilot wings or ultra wings, like Eagle Flight, where you fly through the targets, and like if you get the center, then you get more points. Or there's like some that have like a little red circle rotating around it, and you have to aim for those and get those. On top of all this, this game has a lot of interactive features that we were talking about before, where like there's Nerf guns and stuff you can mess around with, and Coke cans that you can play with, and this makes for a lot of fun when you're doing the multiplayer. I hear people say all the time, this is one of the best multiplayer games. I totally agree. You're not going to find people playing online, unfortunately. But if you get just a couple friends together and play this game, you guys will have an absolute blast. And with this new content, man, this game just has gone above and beyond what I originally wanted to. And as for extreme sports games, I think it's one of the best we have. And I would love to see more like it. And it reminds me a lot. It's the closest thing to SSX that we have in VR.
Yeah, and if anybody's not familiar with this, I mean, it plays a lot like Burnout, where the more dangerous you race, the better you're going to do. Like
getting closer to surfaces and stuff.
Absolutely. You see that little boost meter on the bottom of the screen there. You want that thing to be filled constantly. And the second you activate that, it starts draining. And so then you say, well, but you can keep that thing filled even while it's draining. You just have to like skim the sides of cliffs, make sure that you're like, your belly's practically touching the ground as you swoop past it. Those rings, those checkpoints, you have to hit every single one of those. And technically you could have that boost meter going nonstop from the beginning until the end. Once you've got these tracks kind of like memorized, the ins and the outs, and you know exactly how to do it, and you get the controls down. So you have to, and I think there's something about having to be dangerous that, although worked really great in Burnout, works even better in VR, because this shit's coming at your face, and like you sometimes forget that.
Right.
I mean, obviously you didn't forget that you didn't jump off a mountain, right? That you're not actually doing this, but you're not thinking about it in the same way as if you're playing a 2D game on a flat screen. This is super immersive.
Right.
And can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah,
Yes.
ask me a question.
Did you think the graphics look better after this update?
I think it looked about maybe tiny bit, but it's never had the most impressive graphics, but it didn't have bad graphics either.
I didn't see a huge increase. Actually, in the new stage, when you are just loading up, there's this weird pop-in effect. I don't know if you guys noticed that. In the distance, it doesn't look that great when you first load in. But I think despite those graphical, shortcomings occasionally, it's really, really fun. And it's very immersive. And like Brian said, that system of having to like glide as close to possible to every obstacle.
Yes. Love that.
Is once you get that down, you feel like you're on the edge of your seat the whole time, because you're like, I could easily just tilt my head down and crash.
Right.
So I got to like stay. It's very, very good.
SBS, he says this does look kind of neat. Is there a great sense of speed? I would say absolutely yes. There's a great sense of speed. Not only that, there's a lot of obstacles. So yeah, you're flying close to surfaces and stuff. It gets pretty intense. But one of my favorite things about this Molten Tropics, I mean, you're literally flying next to a molten lava river going down, and it looks so good. And then you come up from that molten lava river, and then you go over here, and then there's a waterfall that looks really good, and you get next to the waterfall, and like water splashes all over your mask and stuff. This game is pretty immersive and just a lot of fun, man, and great sense of speed, I would say, definitely. And they give you a boost.
Yeah,
they give you a boost as well, which makes it even better.
Yeah, I brought up the graphics issue because when this game first came out, I was like, "Oh, this is really fun," but you can totally see its mobile roots. And I was playing today, going, "This looks so much better than I remember it." Like I wouldn't have thought about it being a mobile game if I
would have never thought this game was a mobile game. No,
I don't know. Maybe it had just been long enough since the last time I had played it, and I sort of talked it down in my head that when I went back to it, I was like, "Oh no, this is much better than I remember it being." But
I think that's really
decent looking game.
I think that's what it was, because it doesn't look significantly different or better than it used to.
Okay.
And I didn't see anything in the patch notes that was like, "Hey, we made everything look better."
Right.
So I think it may just be coming back to it after a while, because it always looked about the same as it does now.
I mean that, and once you get to the later levels, I think each there's 5 courses now, 5 different maps, and I remember the first time, one of my favorite memories. Everybody that first jump for everybody, they're always standing up like high up on that platform, and they're just like, "Oh shit! Like I've got to jump down this. Like oh crap!" And I think with this level, I think there's so much going on. There's the trees, the lava flowing, the waterfalls. I think all that in combination probably made it look a little bit like surprising to you or something. But is this the footage I guess you recorded? That's good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so good, and this is another game where I can't stress enough. These are the kind of games that when it comes to VR, that like I want to be pushing, I want to be supporting, because these are the kind of experiences I'm looking for as well. And you know, I don't want stuff like Last Labyrinth where it ties you to a chair and it's afraid of motion sickness. This throws you off a fucking cliff and is like, go have fun. There's lots of gameplay elements to it. The gameplay is very good. There's tons of content.
I would also say, if you buy this and you like it, and you've never played Eagle Flight, it's an old game that nobody talks about anymore, but it's dead cheap. I've seen it on clearance for like $6, physical copy. And it is the same kind of, if you use the head motion, it's the same kind of flight movement. And that game is incredibly fun. I love really, like Eagle Flight is so good.
Yep. I love Eagle Flight a lot, but I will say
the multiplayer is not as good. That's more of a single player.
The multiplayer is non-existent.
It barely counts. It barely counts.
Yeah, but I will say that more people have liked Rush than they did Eagle Flight in my experience.
Well, yeah, I mean, Eagle Flight has that competitive kind of racing nature to it, where it draws you in a little more, because there's like, if you're playing against people or even AI, there is this sort of drive to get better and be faster and figure out how to get the most boost that you can, that drives you forward. Whereas with Eagle Flight, you just have these missions and you go through, and it's not as compelling, I guess, in a competitive way. But
I love watching this footage, man, because I remember while I was playing, I was like, did my elbow just hit that mountain? Did I just ricochet off the edge of that wall? And I can actually see it happening in the game. I was like, oh no, I totally ricocheted. Like, you don't always crash. Like, the game gives you a little bit of leeway where
maybe it's just the body.
It's like thunk. It's like, because I know at one point I thought I crashed into the ground, and it actually kind of like ricocheted me up just enough. So I think if you get the angle right, you can actually do that. Insane.
Nick Mulo also mentioned, like, after the races, like, you know, before the races, you're in the airplane getting ready to go to the jump, and then after the race, you land. You know, the parachute, you hit the finish line, and your parachute deploys, and then you actually get to control your parachute and land into the campsite, and then you're all just chilling around. There's boxes you can throw like 1,000 feet in the air. There's Nerf guns, there's Coke bottles, beach balls, all this stuff to mess around with. It's a very social game too. Very good for multiplayer, and I completely agree.
Firewall needs to implement all of this shit into their lobbies.
I miss
absolutely.
the firewall lobby stuff where it was like you could move around and you could make gestures at each other, and we used to do like the dolphin thing, and I don't know. There's so many different things you could do, but excellent game. I cannot recommend this game enough.
And on the other side of the spectrum,
yeah. We also had Darkness Roller Coaster. Which came out yesterday. And it is very much like it's a roller coaster mobile kind of game that they added shooting to. This is the Ultimate Shooter Edition that they have created.
Can I suggest something? Do we have a giveaway already?
No giveaway.
Going this time? No giveaway. Did people comment trying to get into a giveaway anyways on PSVR?
Maybe one or two.
Not today, no. Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
people do. They comment before they don't watch the video.
I have 3 codes. I have 3 codes to give away for Darkness Roller Coaster. If anybody wants to actually play this game,
would you like to give them away in the chat, Dave? Is the question? Would you like to give them away live?
Sure, I can, and people can just rush to get them, which I don't like as much, but I can do that. Yes. Although sometimes it gets weird about you posting game codes in the chat, but I'll try it. Yeah, continue. I'll
yeah. So, Brian, I'm going to let you have a review on this game, and you made a lot of comparisons to Rush of Blood because this, and I think one of the best ways you described it is like the best chance this game had was a silly version of Rush of Blood.
Yeah, like a spooky jump scare mansion version of Rush of Blood.
Right. That's a great comparison. This game also did get a 3.5.
3.5 out of 10. I actually added the out of 10, so no one thought it was out of 5. This is the worst. Ever since I started adding scores, this is the most poorly reviewed game I have reviewed. It is not the worst game I've reviewed.
Which there hasn't been that many.
Only like 5 or
there
6.
hasn't. Yeah, out of 5 or 6 that you.
But still.
And you missed Vigilante Ranger.
Yeah,
which I think this is actually better than Vigilante.
Are you still saying that?
Vigilante Ranger.
Can you hit that for me, Dave? I want to.
Yes, I shall.
Yeah.
Fuck you! Don't
Here, I got a code too. I'm gonna.
That's
give away.
97 Skynet, the T800 GameCat with Canadian $5.49, which translates into magical beans. I don't know Canadian money. There's like loonies and toonies and all sorts of weird shit. So just arrived. Better late than never. Hey all. Thank you so much for your support. We're glad you showed up. Much better late than never.
Meow.
Yeah, this is.
So, I got a code too. I'm gonna give away because I love you guys. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and I've had so much fun tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna throw in another one for you guys.
Oh wow!
Good luck.
Okay, if this is a thing, I guess should I do it too?
Yeah, so let's do it. What I'm gonna say is, as you guys redeem these codes, if you're the first one to get it and it works. Just put a note in the chat saying I got number 1, I got number 2.
That would be
whatever.
Nice.
So like you guys start numbering from 4 and go up, and we'll know who got what.
I'll give one. I'll give a 1 or 2 away after AJ's done.
Bryson Chip got number 2, so number 2 doesn't work anymore, guys.
I didn't number mine. Sorry.
That's number 4.
Just say you got AJ's. Good luck to everybody.
Right, I'll give mine crazy random numbers. And
so Brian, I got to tell you, man, I would actually rate this game higher than what you did. I think everything you rated it makes sense. I think it was a practical rating, and I think it's justified. I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just saying I probably would have done it differently. I probably would have given this more of like 4.2 to 4.5 territory. Because 3 and under for me is like broken, and there are some
borderline. This is so borderline on broken.
What I didn't really agree 100% with you for slamming this game was basically saying that it's not Rush of Blood.
Nope,
I totally get it.
Then I failed in my review because that is not at all what I wanted to say.
Well, I'm just saying I just heard. A lot of comparisons to basically like this is not Rush of Blood. It sucks. And look, everybody interprets things differently. You cannot compare me because I usually interpret things way different than other people.
Okay.
But me personally, I thought it was a little bit too much slamming on it for not being Rush of Blood, and I think I would have scored it a little higher. That being said, I do like the charm of the game. I do like the idea of the game. I think they've actually done a fantastic job fixing the issues that I dealt with when I first played this game. Oh my God, this was the worst game I'd ever played because it was so broken. It was the most broken game I've ever played in my life.
Is it not broken anymore? Is it?
It's
good?
not. It's not. But it's not. It's not great either, though. Okay. It's the thing
is far from great. Great is on the horizon, and the draw distance hasn't drawn it in.
It's not even necessarily that good either.
Those Beat Saber levels are a goddamn fucking joke. I'm so embarrassed for this game.
I don't mind.
I'm so embarrassed for this game. Take those fucking levels out of your game and stop embarrassing yourself.
No, it was just.
It's not. It's not. Nice, they're Zach. Not fun. They're not fun. It's a goddamn joke, and they're embarrassing. Like
I thought they were okay. I didn't mind them. I'm Beat Saber biased though.
I love Beat Saber, but this was a mess, and it's like it's just. There's so many problems with this game. That's like, man, put it back in the fucking oven for another year, man, and spend some time. I wanted to like this so much, but man, it's like when you call your game Darkness Roller Coaster, and half the levels aren't on a roller coaster. You're just free floating out in space. Where like when you shoot, your blasts are going in random directions because you can't tell which direction you're moving in because you're floating out in space with no fucking environments around you. So you're firing and it's going boom over there. Oh, firing, it's going over there because they're turning you around this environment. It's broken.
Well, I think they're trying to create this thrill of you being launched. You know, it's about my problem is. It's janky. Like, it's very sloppy. Yeah. It's the way this game, all the ideas come together is what I have a problem with. Being on the roller coaster and like, first of all, I was saying this in the Discord last night. I have no idea. How the hell did you get your footage to look that way? Because your footage looks very smooth and it like looks like you're just like, were you like not moving at all when you were recording that? Because the second you tilt your head, you move on the track. It's designed to where you move your head left and right and you dodge stuff on the track. How did you get the footage to look like that, to where it's like you're just sitting still on the track and just going down and just shooting? Because that was not my experience at all.
All right, we got Diz the Game Cat with a $4.99 donation.
Fuck.
Love Dave for calling out AJ for the way he says vigilante. LOL, that hit my funny bone. You must have missed the last one because we gave him a real hard time about vigilante ranger, whatever it's called. Sorry, AJ. People
fuck like it, you, Diz. I thought we were friends.
it's for fun.
I love you, Diz.
Okay, this next one is in hexadecimal.
You're my boy, Diz.
Code 029XBC123.
What the
Let
hell
us
is
know
that?
when you get that code.
I gave away another
decimal.
key.
Is that a virus that you're trying to give people?
I mean, I have the potential.
Kevgrat wants us to fight some more.
Okay.
I disagree.
We're fighting over the bottom of the barrel game. Like, is it awful or is it terrible? I don't know. It's fucking. But you know what? It's what number would you rate this, AJ? What numerical score would you give this wonderful 2,000 times patched over game?
Well, I mean, is that supposed to take away from it?
No.
So many times?
No, but
that doesn't have anything to it.
I expected it.
By the way, I do commend the developers for not giving up on this game. We see so many developers that have games that are actually like far more produced, a lot more went into them. This is just two brothers that made this game. That what I admire is that they are clearly like passionate about VR. Right. And yeah, they're inexperienced. They openly admit that and stuff. But you can tell the passion is there and that they do care about this. It's just, like I said, the way it all comes together is not the greatest. And I'd have to give this game maybe like it's around a 5 for me. It's a little bit like maybe 4.8. And really, I think it could get smoothed out a little bit better. If they could smooth out this game, then it would be a little bit better. The problem I have with it is that it's too janky. It's too sloppy. It's not smooth enough. If Rush of Blood is it's hectic, it's chaotic, it's fast, but it's also very smooth.
Navigating the menu screen alone pisses me the fuck off.
The menu screen,
Right.
using the trigger,
Going from level to level, just
you're like
right.
it's like whoop.
Right.
whoop,
Don't let me slide left, right, back and forth.
No.
Oh, I got to
Or
rotate
turn.
clockwise. Now I have to
can't
rotate
turn.
counterclockwise.
You have to rotate like you're on a clock.
It's, like a fucked up clock.
Ow, fuck you, it hurt.
You should take this one, Dave.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, Joe Grover, another $10. He says, "Are Dave and Polish Paul really mortal enemies?"
Where did this start?
LOL. Well, so Polish Paul in his last video,
Oh, God.
he called me my arch nemesis Dave from Shit Station VR,
Oh, good.
and
Polish Paul.
That's always good
And
in the
it-
community.
we are really mortal enemies. I think he's got a shit village. His village is full of shit. It smells like shit.
There's nothing but sticks
And
and poop everywhere.
It's terrible. It's like mud huts.
Yeah.
They're all just pooping in the street.
So is
Pretty
that
much. I
it's
think
not
he would
actual
admit to that.
sausage then? It's just shit everywhere?
No.
Oh.
And he says he's Polish, but he lives in Europe. I mean, never mind. I mean, England. So it might be fake. Who knows? I don't. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Polish likes to mess around, man. We fuck with each other all. Dude, even grid each other all the time, and you know it's because I hope everybody knows that we really do like each other and stuff. But this is just us having fun. This is just how we are in real life, and you know if we're I don't know we're cool with each other enough to be able to say these things and know that we're just kidding around.
I will say we did molest petrifying pumpkins. That is fact.
But in all fairness,
We're not done with him yet.
He deserved
We're
it.
not done with him yet.
We're not
absolutely,
done.
he
No,
deserved that.
We'll
yeah.
finish him.
Yep.
We'll finish him there.
He shouldn't have been dressed that way.
Tell the Decepticons in the chat, man. You better tell Pumpkins we're coming for him.
Wow. He had it
His
coming.
co-host. Decepticon's an angel, though. I love Decepticon, but Pumpkins, yeah, if he can, he's actually. Never mind. I'm not even gonna get it. Yeah, this game is not very good, but it's. I still think I would rate it. Put it is all I would say. Dave, did you even play this game?
I got to check it out. No, I gave away 3 of my codes, but I have 1 left,
Oh.
and I'm going to try it later after I eat some pizza.
Oh. Good. I mean, priorities. Pizza's important.
Priorities, yeah.
Yeah, Zek Lightning brought up Summer Funland.
Ow, fuck you, ah.
I'm sorry
Oh
about that.
shit!
So,
Hey, Jake, hit it up.
Dead Ringer with the $5 donation says, "Hi guys, it has been a long time since I made it for the live show.
sure has.
Glad I have made it this time.
We are too.
Dead Ringer, so good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a while. That is awesome.
Yeah, thank you very
And
much. for the donation.
shout out to the Dead Ringer Juniors. I wish I streamed Beat Saber more for you guys.
Ow, put me down.
This is for Diz the Game Cat. Well, he says, it was the, quote, "Are you still saying that?" question mark. Still. Smile. Am I missing something? What? Somebody
Traitor. He's talking about Vigilante.
Oh.
Because I keep saying I keep saying for some
Vigilante
reason
or something, right?
yeah, I keep saying like Vigilante, like it's a fucking Arby's mocha shake or something. I don't know. I don't know why I keep saying that. My brain is just backwards sometimes, and I apologize.
Yeah.
But okay, so Dave, you haven't played this yet. I don't know. This game is not great, but it's not an abomination that it used to be. It's not as bad. I will take this game out of my bad folder, but it's not great though.
So it doesn't fall in with the apocalypse game.
It doesn't fall in with the apocalypse anymore. Okay. It's not that bad. It is not that bad. I think there's a couple people out there, Bel Romeo, that could enjoy this game as long as they know that it is a very cheap game. It's a very, it's not a high production value, anything like that. It's like Bel Romeo almost likes this game because of how obviously bad it is what he says. So if you can laugh at it being bad, and I don't know, there's still some charm to it though, but it's not very good.
Yeah.
But I do commend the developers for sticking with it. I really do.
No, absolutely. That's how I finished my review. I'm thrilled they stuck with it. I'm very happy about that. But you know, I still feel like it has a long way to go before I could recommend it to like literally anybody. If you want something that's like this, it's not like Rush of Blood, then Roller Coaster Legends 2. I think is a great alternative. Nice graphics, nice environments. You know, it's one roller coaster, but man, I'd rather play that one roller coaster 20 times than play the 10 levels in this, because holy crap, man. Holy crap. Yep. So
everybody should just go out and buy Roller Coaster Dreams, one of the top titles for PSVR. Yep. The NPCs.
I didn't actually like it that much.
No, this is a joke, AJ, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually confusing it with the one that he was talking about, Roller Coaster Legends. Roller Coaster Dreams, Roller Coaster Legends.
Roller Coaster Dreams, you have to...
Rush of Blood is the only good roller coaster game.
That's
in
fair.
my opinion.
That's fair. But the NPCs in Roller Coaster Dreams are incredible and hilarious. Mm-hmm. And also you can ride down all these tracks from people all over the world. And they make their own theme parks. It's kind of fun in a stupid way, in a bad game way. If it's ever cheap, I think it's worth checking out.
Sonic wants you to stream Darkness Roller Coaster, Dave.
I might one of these days.
I think that would be a good stream. I think that'd be a good Dave stream.
I could eat something first, but I might do that.
Ooh.
I have a video on it already. I'm going to do anything. I might do a review.
Great Tantrum actually asks a question that a few people have asked already. He says, or in the comments of the video, so what the heck does a 3D rudder do in Roller Coaster Darkness? Darkness Roller Coaster.
Question.
It's what I didn't really address in the video, and that AJ kind of already brought up, was that when you turn your head to dodge things in Darkness Roller Coaster, you're not just turning your head, you're actually pulling the minecart, or I keep saying minecart when I refer to this because it feels like an Indiana Jones thing, where you're going up on two wheels, like you're actually turning, like you're pulling that thing with you. And so,
right.
You know, so that kind of gets transferred to the 3D rudder, so you can just use your feet and bounce the world around like that if you want to. Yeah, I didn't find myself actually dodging a whole lot of attacks, to be honest with you. This game's pretty easy. It's got a slow motion effect, or a bullet time effect, I should say, and I just never found it to be all that difficult. So you won't be dodging a whole lot of stuff, to be honest. But all right, guys, I think that's gonna kind of do it for another episode of GamesCast Live. I know that obviously Dreams is coming out tomorrow for anyone who wasn't an early access person, or I guess in just a couple hours for some countries around the world. So so go enjoy Dreams. Not going to have PlayStation VR support at launch, but it is coming very, very soon, says all recent reports. But to what extent, that is the question. Don't buy Dreams thinking that it's going to have full PlayStation VR support. It definitely seemed, they've been saying since day one, well, not since day one, but ever since they explained the VR support, they've been saying to a limited degree or limited capacity or to a limited extent. They've been using phrases and terminology like that to keep everyone's expectations in check. So don't buy it expecting a full PSVR game or creation tool set.
It's going to be a lot of tiny PlayStation VR games, I think, which is good. That'll be fun. Yeah.
Oh God, it's going to be Yeah, I mean, what a great thing, man! What an absolutely great thing. I hope they get this ported to PlayStation 5 like on day one, because I want the community to move over there, and hopefully that'll give the creators even more to work with, more resources to work with. All right, it's been a long show. Guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me, Dave, AJ, all the cats in the chat. Thank you, everybody who donated. We'll have Albo news for you soon, I promise. That is coming as well. Don't you worry about a thing. We got you covered. But yeah, let's go watch the Dice Awards, see who wins. Let's go see who wins that VR category.
Let's go, Blood of Truth.
Let's go, Blood and Truth.
Let's go, baby.
That's right.
And Golem.
Yeah, we've got to get that music award.
And Trover, too.
Yeah.
And Trover. Aren't they competing with each other?
They are.
I voted for all of them.
Yes, and Curious Tales of Pets.
Perfect. Love that game. All right, guys. Thank you again for everyone hanging out in the chat. Thank you to everyone who donated. Thank you to everybody who commented. Thank you to everybody who contributed to the conversation tonight. And also thank you to everybody out there who doesn't contribute at all and just sits back and watches the show because they enjoy it. Because before I did this, I was one of you. I promise. Just like you. Probably a little bit more demented, but still just like you. So thank you, cats. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, AJ. My name's Brian. And we're out. Hey, look at that cat. Look at that cat. So cute. So cute.
Who's a little bit?
Oh, man. Guys, I'll fist bump to you. Stephen King. I love your movies and your books.
Great
Kev
guy.
Brett.
Great.
Stephen Geek says he bought an Xbox X because Phil said VR. Yeah, it's going to be a minute for that. He also said it wasn't going to have VR.
The only reason to buy an Xbox is Phantasy Star Online 2.
Oh, God, no. There's no reason to buy it. Buy a PS5.
No. AJ, get out of my face. Fantasy Star Online 2.
SB.
Fantasy Star
Joe
Online 2, motherfucker.
Joe Grova, I'm going to check out those graphics themes with you one day, man. Genetic Blasphemy says start over. All right, let's do this, guys. Let's start over
This
from
is
the beginning.
PSVR Gamescast Live, where we film live every Thursday.
Hack the Game Cat is lit. Secrets of. Cheers, man. Kev Gret, thank you for joining. Yes, we forgot a Legacy reference. Thank you for reminding us, Kev Gret.
Perfect.
Mortal Legacy
Nailed
rocks, doesn't it, Brian? It's so good.
Top 5.
It's
Top
so
5.
good,
Next
man.
top 20 list. Top
Really,
5.
really good.
Fucking
Chair
happening.
Face.
Battlezone
Thank
is
you.
going to be
97 Skynet,
like-
the T800 Game Cat. Meow, 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 meow. Gazelle. Yes, Albo updates as soon as we get one. Fries and Chip. Gumball's Game Room, thumbs up to you too. That space shooter game, the Game Cat Night. Sonic. Can't wait to see that damn movie. I can't wait to see that damn Sonic movie. Sanador. Good to see you, man. Keep up the great work on Twitters and stuff. Handyman, Can VR. What's up, dude? Chaos for Hire. Yes, definitely play Golem later. Larry Langer. I always love seeing Ghostbusters avatars things.
And
in
that
that